Oh man, they coming in, they jump right on in. They jump right on in. Let me go ahead and share this out a little bit.
Did you post it in the groups?
No, I didn't this time. No, I did. I need to.
Yeah.
I'll put it in there right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, I think we got them all in there, Steve. Just put them in there.
All right.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the HBCU Coaches Corner. My name is Rocky. I'm your co-host along with the Bishop, the Rattler,
Yes,
the
sir.
Mr. Iweave himself, Stephen Campbell. And
Yes,
for those of
sir.
you guys out there who may need some luxurious, yacky, wavy weave, Steve, where can they go?
Hey man, Iweavehair.com, man. Listen, we got the men's unit too. So for all you church bishops out there, we got y'all straight too.
Hey, Coach, so y'all done dabble into men units?
Oh man, this is what we got to, man. We got to blow that thing up, man. About to blow that thing up.
So that's Iweave.com, man. So Iweavehair.
Iweavehair.com.
Iweavehair.com for all you ladies who want a luxurious wavy hair, and men too. You know. All right, man. Hey, we flying solo right now. Coach Cole is on his way, but he has not arrived just yet. So I'll be calling defense as usual. We'll got Stephen Campbell. We'll be calling offense. And then if we need to go it on fourth down, we'll flip a coin and see who makes that decision. I got heads, he got tails. And so that's how we'll do it moving forward. But Steve, before we get started, how you doing?
Man, listen. And I just seen, man, listen here, man. My homeboy, Emmett Jones, listen. How good does FAMU basketball have it? Listen, we beat Prairie View. We beat Texas Southern. The Texas Southern. Basketball power. Come on, Coach Carroll. We see you, man. We
So
see
y'all swept that trip to Texas?
Man, I can't remember, honestly, when the last time FAMU basketball ever swept any state. Okay? I'm going to go back and check that. But, like, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. Listen, and shout out to my AD. Listen, man. People know the AD. Suggs, number 19. She a home run hitter. AD Suggs said, listen, I ain't got time to be waiting on these board of trustees until June. Let's get that man a contract tomorrow. Let's give him a contract tomorrow, Rocky. So, Rocky, matter of fact, what I'm gonna need you to do. So tomorrow, you're gonna be able to see FAMU Board of Trustees, my AD, submitting that contract, putting $100,000 worth of bonuses up in there for Coach Query. Rocky gonna set up because Scott is gonna be on the road. So, Scott, Rocky, I'm gonna need you to set that up. And put that on there. But hey, man, we trying to do big things, man. Oh, hey, Green, did you not hear what I just said? We putting $100,000 worth of bonuses in this man's contract.
So I think, I think there's a thank you in order to somebody else.
Oh, no, listen, here's the thing. And I want to say this. OBG, a broke clock can be right twice a day. So she made the right hire. Nobody can argue that. But see, the thing, and I hate that Coach had to get caught up in the collateral damage because this had nothing to do with Coach about his contract situation. Totally nothing to do with it. This was a dysfunction between the board and our previous athletic director. So now she's got her great job. She on Instagram living her best life. We got a new AD who understood the mission. Is going to be presenting that man with a contract, adding some more money to the contract, and paying him correctly.
Hey, Coach, I follow Tiffany Dawn Sykes on Instagram and on Twitter. And I must say, she's had a hell of a run this past, ever since she left FAMU. I don't care if it's the Big Ten championship, whether it's the NCAA championship, now the Super Bowl. Hell, Coach, she ain't missed it. All the several Eagle playoff games. Coach, she ain't missed nothing, Coach.
Bro, she outside, bro. She outside. Now, one thing about OBG gonna be outside now.
She ain't missed. Matter of fact, she went to. Not only did she go to Sean Gibbs' hiring press conference, she made it even to Mike Vick's hiring press conference. So it looks like to me that Tiffany Dawn Sykes is not only working for Maryland, but she's working the whole East Coast, man. She's working the whole East Coast. And so she's doing a fantastic job. And I seen a post not too many days ago where she put out her resume. Very impressive resume, I must say. And though I think her tenure was short at FAMU, I think she's going places, to be perfectly honest with you. And I think FAMU will be a bright spot on her resume as she ascends to greatness.
Well, listen. Hey, man, listen. I've always said this. I got no problem with OBG. I'm happy for her. She's a young lady, a little bit older than my kids. I want everybody to be successful, man. But like I said, we all, in certain things in life, it's all about fit. So she's moved on, and I'm sure she's looking for other avenues to grow her career, like anybody her age. So, man, I wish her well at Maryland. You know what I mean? And that's it, man. Cause like I said, all that, like I said, and when I tell people, man, we done with that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I hate when people be dragging her in there. Oh, look at what she did. Okay, man, listen, stop making posts about her, cause she ain't even making posts no more. So you only keeping up stuff, and you know who you are. I've already called you out, so I ain't gonna say it no more. So let that woman be. Let that woman live her life, and FAMU living their life.
And the only reason why I brought her up, Steve.
Oh no, it's no problem. No. That's not directed at you. But what you're telling more of a story to give context. My point of it is there are people that just like drama. You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't mean it for
saluting her. It's more of saluting drama. Let me keep creating chaos and drama instead of writing articles about what's going on Project 2025 at HBCUs. How about that?
Absolutely. Like I said, I only brought her up, and I tried to be positive in the way that she, her contribution, because a lot, I think, and this is just my assessment of it from a long way away here in Texas, is that she was, she had a difficult time at FAMU for whatever reason. And a lot of people will, from their vantage point, saw her tenure as not so positive. However, if you evaluate what happened while she was at FAMU, I think she had a really good run, in my opinion, as an AD. Whether she should get the credit or not, that's for other people to debate. But she had one hell of a run when you talk about what FAMU was able to accomplish and what the people who she's hired was able to do even after she's gone. And so that's why I brought her up, just to try to put a positive light on some things that was done seemingly the right way while she was there.
Yeah. Let me tell you, so DBOL was at 2010, say, wait, you have a problem with people keep on drama. Hey, man, listen. It's one thing about, you can have one episode of drama, but we don't need no whole series of drama. You know what I mean? We don't need the whole series. You get your one episode in and then you keep it moving. That's my thing. So I mean, life is life, man. Human is human. But once again, I'm not gonna sit up here and just be bashing on that woman, because, like I say, she doing her thing. She doing her thing. So shout out. But you know what I do like though? Let me listen. What I do like, because I'm from the state of Mississippi, I see these Delta Devils rolling up in here. See, listen, this is gonna be their show tonight. See, and so Rock, I'm just letting you know, because I'm with Coach. I'm gonna repeat these rules. This is about Coach Buckley. We are not talking about prime. I'm gonna give you 2 prime questions. That's all I'm getting. I'm gonna give you 2 prime questions. Now you can ask one about him following.
Hey, did you lose sound some kind of way? I can't hear you. Now I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Hold on one second.
Hey, man. Did you get enough minutes on that new mic?
No, hey, man, listen. All I'm saying is, let me get back. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hold on. I'm gonna mute myself. I got to take this.
Okay, but I'm gonna say shout out to my Valley folks, man. Listen, those people is a proud bunch up there in that Delta. And like I say, no matter what people say, y'all always support your school. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm gonna support whatever Coach Buckley does, because like I say, hey man, I remember the heydays of Mississippi Valley. I like when Gunslinger Jerry. Y'all see my background. Y'all see I'm representing it back here in the background. Y'all see it right here. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to bring that mojo right here. So listen, man, we just want to, like I say, showcase Coach Buckley. We want the Valley people to, like I say, be excited about, like I say, next season. Like I say, Valley's been through some tough times and stuff like that. But hey, man, that school had a mission to teach teachers up there in the Delta. And they've been doing that mission for a very long time, Rock, and they do it very well. So, hey, man, I'm down with Valley. So, like I said, y'all say I got the Valley Grace behind me tonight. So, like I said, we ready to get it. We ready to get it, man. So, like I said, shout out to all the Valley people.
So I'd like you to take a moment as you talk about the Valley Greats. Can you put into context, I'll put it like this, and this is from an outsider looking at Mississippi. Y'all largely ride together, right?
Yep, we do.
Y'all ride together. When you talk about Jackson State, I consider Jackson State as y'all professional football team for the lack of better, and I'm talking black people here. I'm not talking about whatever. So everybody in Mississippi has a connection with Jackson State, right? But when you talk about football in particular, there's one aspect that Mississippi has that is very unique to the entire football world, in that possibly the greatest football player of all time played at Mississippi Valley State.
How about that?
That being Jerry Rice. So tell me historically, how does that play into how people in Mississippi relate to Mississippi Valley versus how they relate to Jackson State?
Well, here's the thing. See, this is why, as they say, things are different. You have the rivalries between the schools, Alcorn, Jackson State, Valley. But when the guys leave those schools, then we all root for them. So when Steve McNair was doing his thing, it didn't make a difference if you went to Jackson State, Alcorn, Valley. You're going to root Steve McNair. When Walter Payton was doing his thing in Chicago, guess what? Everybody would root for Walter. When Jerry Rice went and did his thing in San Francisco, everybody rooted for Jerry Rice, because you take pride. And like I say, and everybody knows, like I say, if you're from Mississippi, you know the struggle that is for those schools just to stay alive. And when you see these guys go to the highest level, because you're talking about between Walter Payton and Jerry Rice, maybe the top 5 players in the game, definitely top 10. You know what I'm saying? Because Walter, as they say, Walter is 5, he ain't 6. You know, when you're talking about all-time running backs, and then like I say again, depending on who you asking, you talking about the GOAT with Jerry Rice, and then like I say, you talking about Steve McNair, who won an MVP. And like I say, everybody said if Jeff Fisher would have let that boy play like he played at Alcorn, he would have broke all the records. So man, it's always been that pride. And I'm gonna tell you this too, and this is the same thing even when I'm gonna talk about this Coach Buckley. If you ever go out of town and you see somebody with a Mississippi tag, you just naturally speak to them, like, where you from? That's just what we do. That's just what we do. So it's a lot of pride. Nobody ever, like I say, Alcorn and Jackson State, they have their very intense rivalry. Jackson State and Valley has a very intense rivalry. But when, as they say, we know them against us, especially in that state. And all of us don't, like I say, again, it's a little bit newer. I think some people starting like Ole Miss. But when I was growing up, it was Jackson State, Alcorn, and Valley. And you got to understand, I was at there with the Valley was at their superpower. So that was just beautiful to see as a high schooler, to see all these great players come through.
And I'll tell you this, and this is, withstanding, it's hard to get a better 3 players in the history of the NFL than Jerry Rice, Walter Payton, and Brett Favre. Like, when you really think about it, to get those 3 all-time great players, like, there are guys from Texas, but I don't know that we can assemble 3 players, as a Texan, I probably can put, we don't. I mean, I don't know if we have a quarterback quite as successful as Brett Favre. Well, Patrick Mahomes, we can take him. And then when you look at running back, we have a couple guys. We have Eric Dickerson, but they don't.
But look how big your state is, though.
Yeah,
that's the thing about
it. And then when you look at wide receiver, I don't think anybody matches up to what Jerry Rice has done. So when you look at that, any state in the United States would be hard pressed to put up 3 guys as formidable as Brett Favre, Jerry Rice, and Walter Payton. And to think about, they all coming out of what we consider a very small state.
Yeah, it is. It ain't no consider it is. You gotta understand something. That state got what, 3.5, 4 million people? Shit, the city's got way more people than that. So that's what's so amazing. And that's why I think that there's a lot of pride when you see those guys, come out of those schools and things like that. So it's always like that. So yeah, man, it's super exciting to see that. And you look at guys, you see AJ Brown, you know what I mean? He's from Mississippi. Chris Jones, he's from Mississippi. You see those guys, performing at a high level. I saw Chris Jones shake his. I got to get off Chris Jones though, but I saw him shaking Trump hand. He was out there. I don't know what that was about. But you see these guys and you root for these guys, and that's every state, you know what I mean? But it's just a little bit different from the state of Mississippi, because the challenges that when you lead that state, what people are going to say, and then you just have to represent. That's why I very rare I've ever seen somebody that's from the state of Mississippi that's not successful. I just tell you. Straight up.
You're absolutely right. And I'll tell you this, the guys that I served in the military with and have worked with from Mississippi, they're some of the hard workingest guys that I've ever had an opportunity to work around. And so, like I said, they've always represented themselves well. They always been rather, other than you, Steve, a lot of guys in Mississippi are hard to understand. But
that's where I'm gonna tell you what's funny about that. Like I told you, I originally was raised in DC. When my father passed away, I moved to Mississippi. But after that, I went to Florida A&M, and I've been in Atlanta for 34 years. So the majority of my total life, of my 50, soon to be 55 on February 18th, majority has been outside of the state of Mississippi. But I always love and respect it because, again, that is my foundation. My mother's a Mississippian. And like I say, everybody knows, like I say, Jackson State, like I say, that's my school. You know what I mean? That's what I grew up with. That's my school. So I'm always going to support it.
So, okay. Any criticism of Mississippi, I'm being ignorant. Guys, if you didn't know, and Steve, you've been around the world, so you know this. Guys from Mississippi have an accent, for lack of a better word, that not everybody clearly understands. Anybody who's dealt with anybody from Mississippi can attest to that. That not all of y'all, but some of you guys have an accent. The same way, I guess people would say people from New Orleans have an accent, or any other state. Even I'm from Texas, bro. And so we got a country accent. So don't take offense to that, Israel. Hey, and Israel just got another degree or
man. Degree. Listen, hey man,
congratulations, Israel.
Dr. Carey, bro. Listen, that brother, like, hey man, listen.
Excuse me,
I'm gonna keep it real. Me and Israel have our disagreements sometimes, but one thing, like brother from Jackson, and see, that go back what I'm saying. Hey man, listen, you get it from the mud there, bro. That bro start from the bottom. Look at it. Now he here, got a whole doctor. So you know what I mean? So I'm gonna shout him out no matter what, sometimes, but like I say, he's still from Jackson, and that's why I roll, man. I don't care. I ain't gonna be playing them games, you know what I mean? Because like I say, I'm like Kendrick, they not like us. So that brother got him a whole degree. So congrats to that, you know what I mean? And I know he's gonna be setting the path for the other brothers to follow behind him. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So yeah, man.
Okay. I didn't say that to try to offend anybody.
They about to get on your ass, boy.
Hey, that's one thing about, one thing I do know about people from Mississippi, I don't know if they really know how to fight, but they sure act like they want to fight.
Well, now listen. Well, listen. See, let me tell you the funniest thing. Now, this is everybody in Mississippi understand it. So, you move, we go to different cities, right? So now everybody now I see carrying a gun, or as we say, carry a pistol. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's funny because see, I grew up where everybody carried a pistol in their car. That wasn't nothing new. So see, if you were from Mississippi, you knew not to start no shit because he had something in the trunk. You knew if that joker walked out of there, you knew to leave. See, that wasn't new to us. That wasn't new to us. So everybody grew up with a pistol in Jackson. So,
hey man, hey, and Mississippi got some of the funniest named towns. And this is not my bagging on Mississippi. Just since we waiting on Coach Buckley, I just thought I'd share some things. Like I met guys in Mississippi from Picayune. I have no idea where it is.
That's down on the coast. That's down there right there where T Buck is at.
And then Coach Buckley is from Pascagoula.
Pascagoula. Well, you know, all of those names are Mississippi Native American. Let's call it right. Native American names. That's what most of those Native American, some of those because of French or Spanish. But majority of those either Native American or Spanish names. So that's where those come from.
And my grandmother, Sally Travis, who was born in 1900, was from Poplarville, Mississippi.
That's right. I know where that's at too.
Yeah. Poplarville, Mississippi. So I got a connection to Mississippi. You know, my grandma. So and we went to a family reunion in Poplarville, Mississippi, and that's the first time I felt a helicopter land on my arm and bite me. You know what I mean?
See, now, hey man, listen, that's one thing about. But see, I'm gonna tell you this. I thought that was true until I got to Florida.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because, bro, listen, I had never seen a flying roach. Well, I'm talking about before you stepped on it, motherfucker, like, excuse me? I know you ain't about to step on me. Let me fly on over here. So Florida, man, listen, hey, Mississippi mosquitoes, Florida, with them roaches, a whole nother level, bro, because them jokers fly. They don't run, they fly. So it ain't no doubt about it. But, Rock, listen, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Let me see. I sent you guys something. Let me see if I can share this. Wait a minute, because I want us to talk about this when Coach gets on here. Let me see here. See if I do the screen share. Share screen. There we go. Is that coming up right there? Takes a second. I thought I was saying. Can you see that screen?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
sharing.
I want to talk about this. Chicago State University, predominantly black public university of Chicago, one step closer to adding NCAA Division I college football team. And now they've already lost a search for his first football coach. What do we need to do to get Coach Cole this job? What do we need to do? I want people in the chat to say what we would need to do to get Coach Cole off his soapbox and go to Chicago, dress down, and lead the next group of young men to be coach. That's what I want to do.
Hey, Coach, that city and that school, I don't know much about the school, but I know a lot about, I've heard a lot about the city. That would be a great match, right? And the way Coach likes to dress, you know what I mean, and be clean.
Right.
I think that fits right in with what he could do. And Coach, he's a winner. It's not many that programs that that start up get a chance to hire a winning coach, and that's something that Coach Cole is. He's a winning coach. So, I think you're on to something, Coach. I think you're on to something.
Hey, man, listen. You know, you got to think about it, right? He's a SWAC championship coach. He has coached on many different levels. He's originally from the Midwest.
Yeah.
So he's got Ohio ties. And he dressed the part, man. Dressed the part. So get your coach that's under, you know. And then the thing about it is, no matter what happens as he builds the program, he's not worried about his overall record and standing. No. Where he's at in his coaching life. So he can go and try to build that program, not worrying about the pressure of trying to get the next job. And I think, hey man, I think that that coach could do it. I think that coach could do it. So we gonna get coach's resume on here.
Hey, coach, they not gonna be in a conference, so he could book a schedule where he play all the celebrity coaches. He could book Deshaun Jackson. He could book Michael Vick. He could get Eddie George. He could get he could even put Dion on his schedule if he wanted. You know what I mean?
And you know what? And with that being said, that leads me to my second thing. And shout out to my nephew, Blue. Let me see. Did this just come up? Hold on, let me see. Okay, right here. This school right here, in a surprising move, North American University shuts down the football program for 4 seasons. Stallions came on national scrutiny after the game broadcast by ESPN. Prairie View had them scheduled to play North America for homecoming. So see, Rocky, Chicago State could be the homecoming opponent for everybody.
Oh yeah.
So coach can take them and they could go on the homecoming tour. You see what I'm saying? He could be Norfolk State, Delaware State, Jackson State. Hey man, Southern. Hey man, come on, Southern.
I thought so Blue, correct me if I'm wrong. When they in those provisional kind of teams, when they field a team, I thought they weren't in the conference till they officially get in the conference. But I mean, because I've seen a few teams in Texas launch programs, and when they first start, they get to schedule whoever But correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that's definitely an interesting opportunity for Coach there. When Coach comes on, he'll be on shortly. I'm just wondering if he would take a startup job. Well, I'll put it like this. I'm sure if the price is right.
Man, listen, Coach gone and get there and take that job and be in Chicago, living his best life. And you know what? See, this would be great for Coach. Because see, then Coach could come on here every week and then talk about his doubters. You know what I mean? Because Coach gonna get one win, them big. He gonna get somebody's soul.
Yeah, he gonna what they used to say when we was growing up, Steve. He gonna snatch the victory out of the jaws of defeat.
Oh, he gonna do it. He gonna get one.
Hey, Coach, I just want to let you know your guest is here, Steve.
All right. Let's man, listen. Let me do this introduction right. This brother, a fellow Mississippian from Pascagoula, Mississippi, 1991 Jim Thorpe Award winner, unanimous first-team All-American, Super Bowl champion, and class of 19 College Hall of Famer, Terrell Buckley, the now new coach of Mississippi Valley State University. What's going on, Coach?
Hey, that's a great introduction. Everything is going well, man. I appreciate it. We just a long day over at the office trying to get some stuff done. We're feeling pretty good.
Now, Coach, listen. I'm going to set some ground rules for you, okay? Like I told you, I'm from Mississippi. So we here to talk about you. Now, you follow some legends, and you guard some legends. So I've told them they got 2.5 prime question rule, okay? So that's all they got, Coach, because this is not about prime. This is about my homeboy from Pascagoula, Mississippi, that is now coming back home and coaching a state school that he grew up and I know about. Which leads me in, Coach, you see I got my background right here.
Yeah, I see it.
You got my background right here. Now, I'm a year older than you, and I shout out to my boy Goo that hooked this up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Shout out to Goo, because let me just say, 'cause I know you probably, because again, you meet so many people. So I'm a year older than you, and I know Goo, and Goo said, "Hey man, there's a guy from Mississippi that's coming to play for us." I said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna hook you up and meet you." So Goo introduced us when you were a freshman, and I had a black truck, had a Mississippi tag. You'd be like, "What's up, homeboy?" We see each other. Mississippi got to talk Mississippi and everything. So man, you was always a humble brother and things like that. But Coach, here's the thing: you grew up in Mississippi. You saw Jerry Rice. You saw Willie Titan. You were down there on that coast, but we all saw that greatness. So for you being a high school football player and you now becoming a coach, what did you know about Mississippi Valley and why are you so excited to be the coach of Mississippi Valley based off of this picture behind me?
Man, I know a lot about Valley, obviously growing up in the state, and with Tyler and Bryce, who I've stated before, I think is the greatest football player ever. that the excitement of what they was doing up here, right? Being from the coast, seeing them throwing that ball around, scoring touchdown, throwing them arms up in the air. That's the type of ball that I always wanted to play. And when I got an opportunity to play that type of ball in high school and then in college, you always remember, okay, where did that start? Where did you get those type of ideas from? And it started from here, watching those guys play ball. I mean, pure excitement. That's what you want.
Now, Coach, one of the things, and you come to Florida State, you guys in '88 won the state championship in Mississippi. That was my senior year because
Yeah.
y'all both had a whipstick. And Rocky,
Yes.
let me tell you something about it. And Coach is going to understand that. And I really want people to understand the level of talent down there. You're talking about Pascagoula, Picayune, Moss Point, Gulfport, Warren, Harrison Central,
Biloxi. Don't forget
Biloxi.
about Biloxi.
And mind you, this is and not only were they good in football, Chris Jackson was down there,
Yes.
Laterro Green. So them boys was just athletes down there. They were just athletes, and then they would come to Jackson and whoop somebody Jackson team ass, and then take their ass off back down to the coast. And the thing about this is before the internet, so you would read in the paper, in the Clarion Ledger, them boy putting up 45, 50, 60 points on people. So you come to Florida State with that Mississippi bravado, but there's a guy that just left, named Prime, and you come in, and basically they put you in that position. So how did that feel? And you knew that you had to follow up. So this is the one Deion Sanders question, because I think it's so important about your confidence and you becoming that guy, because you became that guy quick. You not being funny. And Rock, I was in Tallahassee, and he's gonna be modest. Hey man, but he made people forget about Prime. He made people forget about, and I'm talking about in a good way, no disrespectful way, because of the level of play. That's why he was an All-American. So, Coach, talk about that a little bit.
Well, Deion was one of the reasons I went to Florida State. People don't realize that I met Deion in New Orleans, the Sugar Bowl, when they beat Auburn. And again, one of the nicest people that under those circumstances I felt like you would meet. I mean, it was a nice conversation. He was very cordial, and you already know about him, already respect him and like him. So that just even took it to another level. And to get to college and to follow that, we had the same coach was there. And how he talked about Deion and what made him great. It was like, okay, if it was good for him, I know it's good for me, which is the basic things of what a great football player is supposed to do, right? Hustle, make plays, play with confidence, but more importantly, that what allows you to do that is the preparation. And the stories that Coach Andrews tell about Deion was like, yes, he is the real deal. And that's who you want to follow in the footsteps. It's always tough. I always tell people, it's always tough to be the first one. And that's why I tip my hat off to D, because he's the first one and he took it to another level. And I always appreciate that and admire that about him.
Hey, my name is Rocky, Coach. I'm a big fan. I watch your career. And Coach, I'm gonna just ask you this here, Coach, because I gotta put because people don't understand this, Coach. Deion was All-American. You became All-American. Deion won the Thorpe. You won the Thorpe. Deion was a first-round pick, 5th overall. Guess who also was a first-round pick and 5th overall? Terrell Buckley. Deion wins the Super Bowl. You win a Super Bowl in your career, Coach Buckley. When are you gonna stop following this man, Coach?
Hey, you following greatness, though. I'll tell you guys this, man. When you are considered the best of all time, I always tell D, it's room for two of us, right? Both of us can fit there. Deion, what Deion did too was pretty special. Was playing offense, putting up numbers on the offense side of the ball, scoring a whole bunch of touchdowns, right? That's some stuff I wish I could have did. Got on. I played a little offense, but Deion took it to the next level. And I always say, when you are the first and you do it the way he did it, hats off to him. And always remember, there's room for two. He can run out there first. I can run out behind him. I don't mind that. right? It doesn't just have to be one guy. And I'm very, I think it's a very good thing that Dion and I have a relationship. We talk, we text, we do that, compliment each other. And I think that's a very beautiful thing because I obviously honor and respect what he's done. And I think he feels the same way about me.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you have a long coaching career as an assistant? So you actually beat Dion in the coaching, I guess.
Yeah.
He followed you in that regard, if you want to be certainly honest. But ultimately he was given the opportunity to be a head coach at Jackson State. Let me ask you this here, Coach. With your career in coaching, you've coached at all different levels, at different Division I schools. I'm gonna ask you this question that I've asked several coaches. Do you, T-Buck, Terrell Buckley, get this opportunity if Dion isn't successful as he is at Jackson State?
That's a great question. I hadn't gotten this opportunity before. So again, when you're a leader and you lead the way, I've been pushing for years to be in this position, and it hadn't happened. So my Noel brother came in, took care of business, and he, I think, opened the doors for a lot of folks. So again, tipping my hat to the great prime time. You know, I'm always appreciative, and I think he did open the door for myself to be in this position.
Now I'll add this here, Coach. Now, he took over Jackson State, and some may say that was the best job you could take over in the SWAC at the time. Coach Buckley, you're taking over Mississippi Valley. What can you tell us about the job?
And well, not like Jackson State, right? But like I tell people, man, when you built for something, like I said, I'm Mississippi made, I'm built for wherever it is, right? I've been to Akron, kind of the same situation, hadn't won a lot of games with Terry Bowden and the crew. And we had a bunch of guys on that staff that knew how to win, knew how to get it done. And that's how my staff is going to look. We are built for this. We're winners. I'm down here. One of the guys I'm trying to wrangle up that I've had up is Mario Edwards, another Mississippi NFL guy. So you put guys that know how to get it done because they've been there for a bunch of years, most of their career, winners. And then you don't have a choice. With the staff, the elite staff I'm putting together, that's how you build a team, right? The infrastructure has to be right. You get it right with the coaches and everything it needs that says first class. This is our standard. Everybody's going the same way with the same mindset. There is no other way, right? No choice but to have success. That is my mindset. That's going to be the mindset of our coaches, and that's going to be the mindset of the players.
Coach, I wanted to ask you this. You are not 6'5".
No.
But you guarded Jerry Rice, Chris Carter, Michael Irvin in playoff games. Mm-hmm. How does that mentality that you've always had? Because as people say, that people that know you, because I know a lot of people that know you, T-Buck had that chip on his shoulder. How are you, because you come into a school that people consider underdog, that people say, hey, don't have the resources as a FAMU or a Jackson State or a Southern or a Grambling. How's that T-Buck persona? You're going to use that to inspire players to say, hey, listen, look at me. Look at where I started from, right there on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and now I'm the head coach. Tell people, because, Coach, we got a lot of people. We got a lot of valid people that's watching. I really appreciate that. But we also, Coach, we've got a new generation, that Gen Z and millennial, that might not have known, like I know, that saw the heart, the toughness, the All-American player, and now watching your coaching career. So tell people about who you are and your coaching style and what you're going to do with those young men at Valley.
Well, usually I tell people like that, just Google me, and that'll tell you what you need to know. But no, I'm not the biggest guy in all those things, right? You go out and all these Hall of Famers, even though I have Hall of Fame numbers, right? So to me, we were just having a good competitive situation. And my history, my background, I look back on it, all I I can describe myself as competing. Love to compete. Love to win. And the preparation allows that. So when you're talking about how you're going to get to what we need to get to, we don't have the funds yet, but I know what you guys support is going to be here, right? It's coming. Like you talking about Prime, but it's coming. That financial support and all the stuff we need is coming. That's the infrastructure I'm talking about. And that will allow us to take care of business. Like I said earlier, the coaching staff, the mindset, the attitude has to change, right? And how do you change that? I feel like I'm the change agent. Instead of talking about it, I am about it, right? How I operate. I challenge the players. I'm challenging administration, everybody, in saying this is the standard. We haven't been good for 20 years. If we want to keep doing the same thing, this is what we're going to get. Y'all hired a guy in here that I'm not used to this. I never get used to this. I never accept this, right? This is how we're going to operate. First class. Show them this beautiful campus. I want to fill it up. The beautiful stadium, Totten Rice Stadium. I want to fill it up. So how do you fill it up? You produce, you give them a product, you put a product on the field that's exciting. You get the talent. Without talent, you can't do anything, right? So that's where all the support come in. That's where the change, the evaluation of talent. This is probably what we did as a staff, 4 coaches. All the coaches are not here yet, but in 8 days, man, we got some players. We got size, we got speed, we got playmakers. And more important, we got the type of kid you want, right? If I don't have to worry about you off the field, you're going to take care of business on the field. We got some guys with 3.0 GPAs, graduating like really high in their class, great character kids that are ball players. And everybody say, dog, everybody that I can use, I don't really like using that. I'm like, our competitors will compete whether it's cold. Yesterday we had a workout. It was cold up here. It was cold. They out there, coming the player had their hand in their pockets, and they tried to put the little things on their head. Oh, no, I'm coaching. I'm not playing ball no more. I can put my hands in my pocket, and I can put something on my head, but you out here to work. Y'all out here to work. Take that off, and let's get to work. And they did. I've been, it's been good so far. So it's been different for the young man, and I want them to realize that it is different. There's a different sheriff in town. His name is T-Buck, Coach Buckley, whatever they call him.
Well, Coach, I'm going to say one thing. Now I'm going to introduce our host of our show. Now, Coach, one thing, if you ever watch this show, I'm the money guy. The first thing I'm going to say, hey, man, listen, I'm going to tell people to give you some money, Coach. I am legendary. So before we get off this, we going to get all the information. Because like I've always told people, the only way you're going to be successful, that's why I tell all these other alumni from these schools, I don't want to hear nothing about you want Coach Buckley to win unless if you prove it to him. Give him some money. Give him some money. Prove it. Because that's what we want.
We got different ways we can get it to
Coach T-Buck.
V Club, we do PayPal, we do it all. Bring it.
Coach T-Buck, I want you to understand, the only win y'all got last year was against them FAMU Rattlers.
Now see,
so don't let him soften you up, Coach Buckley. Don't let him soften you up.
Coach, he had to go mention that and everything. But see, Coach, here's the good thing, Coach. Because I'm a Mississippian, that Coach, you could use that as recruiting. See, look at what we could do. We can beat the defending national champ, but I'm here. We're gonna win more games than that. So, Coach, use that as whatever you need to support your team.
Well, I'm gonna tell you all this. What I believe, this is a new era, right? We ain't watching last year. We don't care nothing about last year. I told the players, they like, Coach, you see him take. No, I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at that. I don't care nothing about that. It's now. What are you gonna do now? We have the eyes to see the coaches, everybody. We know what it takes. We know what it should look like. I don't need to look at that. So we can burn that tape. Okay, y'all beat the Raps. Okay, that's fine. We're not throwing parties after we win regular season game. We're gonna throw a party out that Celebration Bowl, right? So we come in there and handle business, and it's gonna become normal around here to take care of business. So that was the first meeting.
Well, Coach, I'm gonna keep pointing to the picture. It was normal for those guys, so I don't want nobody to say it can't be normal again. I'm gonna keep pointing at that picture. So, Coach, listen, let me introduce Coach Johnny Cole, SWAC coach, or your former coach of Texas Southern. Coach, this is our coach now. Coach Buckley, listen. Now, Coach Cole.
Hey. Hold up. Let me say this, Coach. Let me tell you this. On a cold fall day in 1985, he once threw 6 touchdowns.
What?
Against Mississippi Valley and still lost.
Still
lost.
Hey, I'll take that win. You can have them 6, man. I'll take that win.
No, that's Johnny Cole, TSU legend, SWAC legend. And he also, again, did I tell you that he threw 6 touchdowns playing Jerry Rice and Willie Todd?
Coach, how you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Good.
That arm, you put some ice on that arm, man?
Look, it stay ready. I still need about 2 or 3 hours. You know?
Okay.
Not from the hash show to the close side of the field.
Okay. I like that.
We got a friend in common, a guy named Larry Lee.
Yes. Mr. Lee was my GM. Yes.
In the XFL.
Yes.
He actually from
great guy.
Hometown. He played with my brother. Him and my brother were some of the top football players in the nation when they came back. That's
big sexy, huh?
Well, Coach, how man, I've been in these situations before. I took over at Lane College, and they hadn't won in several years. Took over at Tennessee State, hadn't won in 10 years. Alabama State 10 years. What are your first 60 days that you working and how you going about doing it?
I mean, meeting everybody, right? I've been doing this alumni, donors, boosters, trying to let them know what we need. I've walked this campus several times. I've met the administration. Today's example, I spent about 2 hours over at study hall trying to make sure that we had that right. Because the theme of this, again, I keep saying, education, if I want to worry about you off the field, taking care of them books is the #1 priority, right? So how do I do that? I'm going over there to make sure that they understand that that's my #1 priority. Meeting the people, just walking, meeting, shaking hands, letting them know that it's here, right? Meeting with the players early in the morning, setting those standards. But what I don't want to do, what really used to get me, player and coach, is you do all that talking, but your action doesn't match. And so I want to make sure they understand I'm not going to do all that talking, but my action, I'm going to show you with my actions, right? Mm-hmm. So just being involved and letting them know that I actually, this is not something that I talk about doing, that I like doing. It's me. Just like when we talking about what made you tick as a ball player, I didn't talk about being a ball playmaker. I didn't like being a playmaker. I was a playmaker, no matter who I was playing. That was my attitude. Playing, greatest football player. Oh, Rice, he gonna make his plays. Guess what? I'm gonna make mine too. Mm-hmm. My job is out there to just stop you. That's all attitude here. We're not out here just to run guys out on the field. Them 63 coming in there are coming to play ball, and we coming to win. We come with an attitude. And when you get through playing us, you're going to know you played. You're going to know you played a team that played hard, and they knew what they was doing.
Yeah. Well, first, I forgot. I think I want to apologize because I was a little late. You said your coaching staff.
You know what I would say to that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that costs you, right? And you might not even be to come in. Right now, if you late, that door's closed, you're not coming in. And guess what the coach got to do? He got to go out there with him.
Okay. You said your coaches are coming in. Have they gave you the resources in that area, or how many coaches did you keep? Did you bring in new coaches, or you kept some on the staff?
Well, I kept one. A couple of them was left. We talked. But obviously, I've been doing this a long time. I know guys. You talk about the resources. I mean, y'all got the data. We are pretty much at the bottom of everything. So it's for some guys, it was a hard sell. The financial thing just wasn't there. You talk about them. You look at his staff. Well, I had a couple Hall of Famers that I could have brought, but they got a little more money than I got, right? So this is the beginning, but that's why you create a list. You know this, coach. You got to be 5 deep at every position. And every coach I'm bringing in, Hall of Fame or not, FBI, mindset, work ethic, careability, right? It's going to be the same as mine. Do you care about what you're doing? Do you have a passion? I think love, everybody say love, they use them trigger words. To me, it's passion. That when I look out there on the field, that passion, you might not even feel like playing or coaching that day, right? But when you step between them lines, them competitive juices start going, that passion just overflows. I personally just went on the field when I played, right? I would go out there, calm, palm sweating a little bit, and I let that energy come out during the game. I don't need an energy in the locker room, throwing myself against the wall, banging my head, turning over Gatorade bottles. We don't need that. I need to see that on the field.
Yeah, Coach, I've been in the SWAC for 40 years. And I've seen, matter of fact, I played during the Rice and Titan days.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to the people who's listening to this show and said, man, we've heard this before. What separates you, and what do you think that name 3 things that you think you need to come in there and do? But what separates you from being also running? Another coach coming in saying, hey, I'm gonna get this going in the right direction.
Because it's clear, right? I have three questions we're gonna ask, right? Answer: what are we doing? Why are we doing it? I should say how we're doing it and why we're doing it. And everything else falls up under that. And then the background. This is what the experience of coaching and playing for 4 of the greatest coaches ever, and maybe one of the best coaches ever, right? You taking Bobby Bowden, you taking Don Shula, you taking Mickey Andrews, and then finally Bill Belichick, right? And you adding all that stuff into who you are. And the players that I play golf with all the time, you taking Marcus Allen, Derek Brooks, the Lawrence Taylors, all these guys, and you adding that knowledge and wisdom to who you are. And it's different. There is, and y'all don't take this the wrong way.
Are you saying Lawrence Taylor is going to be on your staff?
No, I'm not saying I'm talking about the knowledge.
I was going to say,
golf with
Lawrence is, I know Lawrence pretty good. I know Lawrence.
No, he's not going to be on the staff, but I tell you what, he's going to give you that information. But what I was saying, you take all that together, and you've never had a coach like me. Like Dion has his thing. They've never seen a coach like Dion. Just like they never seen a player like him, right? So I would not compare, because I don't think that the coaches before me or our coaches had the experience I've had with legendary coaches, winning. I was trying to do this other day, think about how many losing seasons I've had as a player and coach. And I've been doing this at this level since 17. And I was having trouble counting 3 or 4. From Pop Warner to even my one in my 2 years in the XFL. So winning, understanding, getting knowledge, dropping the ego, applying all the stuff I've learned from other Hall of Famers, players, coaches. I just think it's a different animal, and I don't take no for an answer.
Hey, Coach, I want to say this, Coach, because I think this is something. I think you're a great player, and I don't get a chance to interview great players very often, right? And there's always the stigma. I don't know if it's real or true that great players have challenges coaching, right? Is that a perception, or is that something that is real?
You know, great players are people too. How many people you know that are money-eating quarterbacks that do all that talking that don't know nothing? You tell them to go up and draw a play and they can't, right? So some great players are no different. Some don't have the passion, but most, what separates the guys is the patience, man. Do you have patience to teach, to build? I have all the patience in the world. I know what it takes. I know what made me successful was fundamental football, understanding offense, defense. I played corner, but I studied quarterbacks. I studied wide receivers. I played the game from an offensive mindset. So can you teach that? Can you sit there and teach bump and run at corner and do the same technique? Because bump and run, when you bump and run in that corner, you win at the line. So everybody say you win at the line. Get your hands on. They call it bump and run. And I watched 95% of the players run out of there, open the gate, right? And then the coach be like, oh, you can't do that. You got to chase them down and look. And then I never see them teaching the proper technique. Walk through, catch the ball. You're going to make the what do you say, put them hands in them suction cups, right? It's things that you have to do. Do you understand the game? And do you have the patience to teach? Well, right now, 95% of the people, coaches probably teaching schematic stuff. Well, your scheme is not going to be any good if they don't know what they're doing. If they can't line up, they don't understand situational football. Break down the field. I ask guys, what's the width of the field? Like on right now, if I ask the audience, what's the width of the field? How many people know?
53 and a quarter, ain't it, Coach?
It's like 47, right? What about from hash to the numbers, the sideline?
You got me there, Coach. You got me.
So you divide that, right? You go field, is it 100 yards, 110 yards? All those things will be taught, and the only way you can get that across is through the patience, right?
Yeah.
Coach, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. You were at Ole Miss. You were at Mississippi State. You were there when the portal opened up. I'm going to keep pointing to these guys. Recruiting is going to be a big thing that you're going to do. One thing that Valley has been able to do is find diamonds in the rough. Again,
we don't want no diamonds, bro. We want ball players.
Okay, well, good. I'm going to let you define it. With that being said, what is going to be your strategy? And the reason why I'm asking this is because of the portal, you're seeing a lot of high-level high school players that are not getting offered, that might have an opportunity that you might be able, to your point, if you give them the good fundamentals, that you've got a kid, a freshman, because talent-wise, he actually might be more talented than the guy in the portal. So what is your philosophy? Because I know, again, the first year, you probably want to get guys that have experience, but just overall, what is your thought about a high school guy? Because Mississippi has a lot, as you know, a lot of great high school talent that will be looking for opportunities and versus the portal. Because you have been a recruiter and you've been in this portal stage.
Well, we just experienced that, right? I got here, like I said, been here now probably 2 weeks. And last week signing, before that, it was like 8 days. And we found so much talent sitting there that was overlooked, which was a true blessing. So first, you have to be able to evaluate the players. Do they fit your system? And if you're going to get an athlete, how are you going to use him? I saw one of the best athletes, you guys, I ain't going to call his name out, but his kid we picked up from Georgia. Man, you're going to know this name. So now, as we watching him, I'm asking him, are we going to use him? right? We're not going to get this player and not use him. Is that like a Travis Hunter? He's going to be able to play both ways. So we are going to have a plan for him, and we're going to comb Mississippi to make sure we're not missing nothing. Then we're going to spread out. The net is going to start here and go out. We're going to go north, south, east, and west Mississippi, get the players, and stop good players. All just want to go to JUCO sometimes, right? That's one of the things we have to stop and to come over here and take care of business.
Now, Coach, it took them a while the hiring process there. And my understanding, you lost the #1 wide receiver, I could really say, in the conference, and one of the top quarterbacks in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Did they reverse? Did they come back, or you just kind of like, hey, the guys left because there wasn't no head coach in place.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I guess those are some things that you're gonna have to replace. Have you had time to evaluate your team and what you got left?
Yes, those guys left before I got here.
Yeah.
So, you got to respect that, and they're looking out for themselves. Again, what we're trying to do is evaluate the team, right? I don't want to evaluate off the film. Like I said, we're not watching that because that does us no good. That's a different scheme, different motivation tactic. We're not running into that stuff. So we're going to eval from what we see out here in conditioning, spring ball, film room, all that stuff, classroom. That's what's going to determine what we run on the field with and what we can get, obviously, when the transfer portal open up that fits what we're doing. So I have about 10 different things that you have to fit. Now, you might not fit all 10, but they're going to have to be the majority before we entertain you.
Wow.
Now, Coach, let me ask you this: are you able to tell us some of the coaches that you've brought in, or you have to wait? Are you able to tell us some of the names or some of the coaches that you have?
To wait.
Okay.
Everybody moves. We got to make sure that they get their onboarding and their orientation. And Coach knows this. You don't want to be saying something and nothing happens. But I'm telling you, they are champions at every level. They understand what it takes, and they're gonna have the energy to get it done. And we're not accepting nothing but the best.
Well, let me ask you this question, because, like I said, got a lot of and valid people. This is your time. Ask your coach question. Let's get it to them. I had one of the questions came from, and again, this is more of an overall question. What is going to be your offensive philosophy and your defensive philosophy for people that don't know your coaching style and things like that?
Score point. We're going to attack. We're going to attack, and then we're going to attack. And then we get a tie. We're going to attack some more. So, no, we're going to make you play ball, man. We're going to make you play the length of the field and the width. I keep stressing, if your FBI is not high as a coach or a player, then you're going to have some issues with us.
Yeah. Coach, Mississippi Valley State University in Itta Bena. I was just there this past year. I had a game. You don't know, I'm an HBCU analyst as well. And we were there. I was there calling the game, Valley versus Alabama A&M. And I thought that it was some players. Got away from them in the second half. And then you saying that you're really not going to evaluate your film. So when you're going out to recruit, do you already know what you want, or you just kind of looked at the roster and said, well, we need to go get some of these, or you just was out, just kind of filling in some spots that you think you need?
We're filling in the roster. We have a list of what it takes. This is what it takes. This is the defense we're going to play. What type of players do we need at this position? This is what we're going to do offensively. What type of players do we need at this? And just being respectful, it's hard to go watch, 1-11. I mean, what are we getting out of that? So just some frustration. So in fairness to the previous staff or people before that, like, hey man, let's just clean it. So we won't have to talk about that, bring up no names, try to say nothing bad about nobody. You don't want to do that, right? So we start from scratch. We know what we're doing. Let's fit it in. and
So
see what we can get.
Why Mississippi Valley, Coach? How, you
Mississippi
made,
baby.
Buckley, you've been out there. Was it on your radar, or was it a job open? And you said, "Man, I want to be a head coach," because I know you was at the XFL. Things didn't kind of work out there for you, both on the field and off the field. Some of it was out your hands. Why Mississippi Valley State?
Well, the XFL, everything was out of my hand. They merged. We had 18 teams.
Yeah.
They went down to 6, and they got rid of the team. So, and I still had a year left. So I was doing scouting, trying to see, because I wanted to be a head coach, right?
Right.
And this opportunity came up. Perfect. I told you before, Mississippi made, right? I had several teammates that attended Valley, and we always talked about Valley. And obviously the last 20 years have been down, and just the pride and the competitiveness, they were like, man, we need somebody to help us come back. I'm your guy. Because I'm not afraid of hard work, discipline. Let's roll up our sleeves and get it done. I believe in my ability to eval and do all that stuff, but I can't do it by myself, right?
Right.
The support from the alumni, the elite coaching staff, and probably the biggest thing when the president said, looked me in the eyes, that he wanted something different.
Yeah.
And I was like, you sure now? You want something different? He said, yes. I said, well, you gonna get it. Let's roll. You want something different? You want to do something different? You want to change the environment? You want to change the culture? Let's go.
Yeah. Now you, of course, you're a defensive guy, and you told us you learned defense from the offense. Will you call your own defense, or are you looking to hire a defensive coordinator?
I am a true, you're a football coach. I'm gonna let my guys call. I will obviously manage and get in. Now, if I see something no different than I was in the XFL, if I feel like, hey, we got this under control, that's what's so beautiful. That was so special for me last year. I ended up watching, all the college, all them games, probably about 50 games a week, and would grade, turn the volume down, look at the clock. Okay, what would I do here? What you want to call? Are we running situation football? Just all those things. So I can let my guys go, and then I have the input at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's special teams, whether it's calling the fakes, whether it's running it, going on 4th down, just doing that. Give example. If we finishing, right? Everybody say, as a coach, finish the drill, finish the quarter, finish the game. Well, I don't just want to finish. I want to close the door. So if we up in the 4th quarter and if we up 3 and it's 5 minutes left in the game, I don't want to go out there and run 3 straight dives, punt the ball, and then tell the defense, hey, man, if y'all stop them, we're going to win the game. No, we're going to go out there and play to win and close that door. We're going to close that door. I play to win. They always say you got ice in your veins. I'm like, no, I got ice in both veins.
So, and let me ask you this here, Coach Buckley, because I don't know how much SWAC football you've watched over the past 5 years, but I've watched quite a bit.
A lot.
And two things that I think are incredibly important in the SWAC, particularly when you're talking about offensive football. One, quarterback development is essential at the SWAC level. The team that wins the SWAC generally has a quarterback that plays the best, right? The other thing that I think that we all can agree with, who has watched the SWAC, if you could somehow transition mediocre to below average line play into adequate to above average offensive line play, you're going to be in just about every football game if you can get those two things under control on your team. Being able to do things like pick up the blitz, identify the right guy to block, and be able to run the play that you get in the right formation and run the play you want to run. in your opinion, Coach, how do you see those two things as part of your success at Mississippi Valley?
Well, you hitting it right. You hitting the nail on. You on the right path, right? But you got to add one more to that: defensive line. If whoever controls the line of scrimmage is going to win, and then if you have that quarterback, so you're spot on with describing that, and that's why. And then you add FBI to that, and you
what does FBI stand for, Coach?
Football intelligence.
Oh, okay.
So how do you develop football intelligence? That allows you to make weekly adjustments, in-game adjustments, make adjustment one-on-one with players to win ball games. That's going to be the emphasis of this team. Can we adjust? Can we go personnel? Can we play 12 one week, 11 one week? Whatever the defense is going to give us, can we take advantage of that? We're going to challenge all players like that, and hopefully that'll show up next fall.
Coach, can you share with us who's your offensive and defensive coordinators yet?
No, not yet.
All right.
Until they get cleared, but we have. I'm telling you, we got some guys that you hear how I'm talking. That's kind of how the interview process went. I don't want no cookie cutter. Just line up and this is what we're gonna do.
So Coach, I see you spent, I'll just say this, you spent a significant amount of time, what I would consider to be probably the premier innovator in offensive football on all levels the past 20, 25 years. And that was with Coach Leach. Will his system have any influence over what you guys will run at Mississippi Valley without giving too much away?
I think you're going to see some elements of a little bit of everything. If you looked at an offense, college or pros that was successful, you might see a little bit of that with us.
Okay.
Yeah, Coach. Let's talk about the turkey, Coach. Are they going to give you 63 scholarships, or are you still at? I think they were at about 42. I think. Are they going to give you 63, or how does that work for you?
We want 63. Period.
You want 63.
We're going to get 63, period. There ain't no 63.
Okay. With them 63, are you going to stay with the 63, or are you going to cut them up, splice them up?
No, I do not believe in that.
Okay.
Give me 63. I don't need cut up slide. I don't need to have 85 out there and 40 of them can't play.
I got you, Coach. I got you, Coach. If I'm me and my kid watching, and we want to go to, Mississippi Valley, why would she? And of course you talk to our audience.
Yes.
I don't know, Coach, if they told you when you first started. I started this podcast. Me and Rocky and Bishop came along to give Black coaches this platform. It's so many Black coaches that don't get this platform. And so I started to be able to expose, us to, and expose our fans to being able to see actually coaches, and talk to them and all that kind of stuff. So I'm throwing stuff at you, to be able to let people know who you are. Maybe you go from Terrell Buckley from Valley to somewhere else. Why should I bring my son, or what you gonna do with my son to choose Mississippi Valley as the place?
Man, where I would start was that when I'm sitting in your home and I'm asking you what's important to you, and most 99% of the time everybody talks about is education, right? Well, that's me. I have engineers, kids. I have 5 kids. 2 of them are engineers. One of them is insurance. One is in school now at a HBCU at Howard in dental school. The other one is going to continue to come up here and finish, right? So education is a part of who I am again. We're going to have that conversation. We're going to agree what's important, and we're going to stick to it. Education, development, We're going to make sure you understand what you're doing. We're going to have fun at it. And you're going to leave here with growth. You're not just coming here to have, we're not going to have just a party. And we're not just coming here to play ball. You're coming here to grow as a man, from a young man, teenager, to a young adult. You're going to grow as a football player. And then besides that, we're going to provide an environment for you, man, outside. The NFL scouts, the recruiters, the job fair people. I'm going to push all those things. So when your playing career is over, you have something to do. How do I know that? You can play for 14 years. You're 34 years old. What you going to do? You still got 50 years left. So this is not something I heard. This is not somebody that I read. This is what I know. And then on top of that, you're going to meet a plethora of people that have been through that, sat in that seat where you're sitting, different paths, but some type of success. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get my word. I'm not going to avoid you. I'm going to call you. We're going to have this conversation. You're going to get at least two calls from me every year with your son's progress. Guaranteed. And you want to come and meet with me? I've met with 4 parents already. They come in there, I got that call, what you was alluding to about scholarships and all that. And you know how that voice, that tone can get on the phone. Coach Buckley, I need to talk to you. Guess what I do? Hello? How you doing? Such and such. What you got?
Well,
okay, this is the deal. So I don't run from it, man. We get it done. I don't believe in prolonging discussions, right? Conflict, having no discussion is what it's about. You can move forward, you put it behind, and if you brought your son here, that's what he's gonna get. Because what you see right here, you're gonna see every day.
Yeah. Are you gonna reach out to that 85, 86 team, some of the players, or having some of them guys back? Or
we're gonna have the first. We're gonna have this spring. We'll have an alumni game, flag football game before. Now the 85, obviously everybody's included. I'm trying to work on getting a couple guys divided up that knows these guys. You have 3 sections, right? You got we call them super old heads. Then you got the middle. Then you got the young bucks. Mm-hmm. So I'm with it. We gonna reach out to everybody. The first ball game is, I'm calling it the Ashley Ambrose Day, right, with the alumni. I want him to flip the coin. So I've already reached out to a few guys. So everybody is welcome to come over and let's get it in.
Let me ask you this here, Coach Buckley. Do you have any coaches coming or potential coaches that have history in the SWAC on your coaching staff now, or guys that have had history in the SWAC?
In HBCUs or just specifically?
I'm talking the SWAC. The SWAC.
That is a great question. I know I have coaches that have a lot of experience in the HBCUs. I'm not sure about the SWAC. One has been a head coach at 2 spots. That is a great question.
Because the SWAC has a unique history about being, and Coach Cole can speak about this, about being wide open and daring offensively, right? And that's something you came on and you talked about immediately. And I was just wondering, did you get those talking points from a historical standpoint, or that's just who you are? And obviously, that may be just who you are, Coach.
That is who I am. And I do have, actually I'm gonna have 2 coaches. One I can't tell y'all that. Y'all have to just
We-
you just hold on to it, man. I can't tell y'all.
Yeah, right. He told us.
Y'all-
He told us.
Hey.
Before, I think you had dropped off. He couldn't. He said he's going to do a grand reveal, so you got to make sure all those I's are done and T's are.
Oh, okay.
I do have. You guys gonna like it, man. We got some older guys, some young guys, some guys been around. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
You know, the reason why is, like I say, not only did he, Coach Cole is my guy, Coach.
Yeah.
And not only did Coach Cole throw 6 touchdowns on a cold fall night in Mississippi. Wasn't it in Mississippi, Coach?
Well, it was one in Houston and one is in Mississippi.
One was in Mississippi. Okay. And so he also orchestrated a SWAC championship as a head coach, and is a legendary offensive coordinator who averaged 39 and 35 points through 2 championship seasons at Tennessee State. And then when he won at TSU, he had a more defensive squad where they led the nation in defense. Why I bring that up, Coach, is Coach Cole is tough on SWAC coaches. I'm telling you. He tough on SWAC coaches.
I like that. And you should.
And he says that what they need are innovators and guys that are willing to not just hold a position, but dare to be great. And you seem like, and I think he may not know you very much, but just from what I gather from you, Coach, you one of those guys that dare to be great, and he loves a guy with confidence, Coach. He absolutely loves a guy with confidence, and you got plenty of that. So, but I'm gonna tell you, Coach, this is one of his sticking points, and I'll let you guys dialogue after this. Coach has a certain affinity for these HBCU jobs, and he wants these HBCU jobs held by HBCU men. What can you say to him about how you we had a coach come on this. Let me tell you this. We had a coach come on and say, and he said, it don't mean nothing to me to be a HBCU coach. I just wanted to be a head coach. That's what he said. So what does it mean to you to be a HBCU coach, Coach Buckley?
It means a lot, right? And to get into this fraternity, I think is very special. You know, my cousin was, y'all probably know, Walter Payton and Eddie. I spent a lot of time at Jackson State with Eddie. So this is nothing new to me. I, for years, have felt like this was a fit. For me, I felt fortunate enough, Lord blessed me with a lot of talent, that when I came out of high school, I was offered about 50 schools and chose Florida State for a number of reasons. I told you Dion earlier. It was only 3.5 hours from my house. And it was on TV every other week, on ESPN. So not that I didn't like the HBCU. Half of my teammates between Jackson State, my uncle went to Jackson State. So I've always had affinity for HBCUs and the atmosphere. And of course in Tallahassee, where do you think I spent most of my time at? On the set.
Watch out there, Coach. Don't tell them that secret now, Coach. See, listen, now I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Wait a minute, on the set, but check this out. Guess who we worked out with all the time? Half our buddies was at FAMU.
Yeah.
They used to come, we used to do 7-on-7 together. So it ain't, you know, when Coach said, well, I want the HBCUs to be just for guys like that. Sometimes you're blessed and you go a different route, but that doesn't mean you don't appreciate what's going on and you want to be a part of that. My biggest thing is I want to have influence and impact. And I wanted to do it here, right? Obviously, you want to be a head coach. If nobody offers you a job, then you got to go somewhere else. So this is not the first time I've actually tried this, so you got to know that. This is the first opportunity, and it's such a blessing because when I can say Mississippi made and made in Mississippi, all those things, I'm at home. So it's cool.
Coach, let me ask you this.
Can I defend myself for 1 second? I think Rocky went way over, Coach. And you appreciate this. Yeah, I am an HBCU guy, and we do have 40 jobs to give away. But I think, looking at your resume and where you come, I think you've put enough time in it that you deserve an opportunity to be a head coach. That's where the guardrails go off for me, is when they give and I'm gonna say our jobs, these HBCU jobs away to guys that ain't paid to wait. They've jumped the line to me. You know what I'm saying? They've jumped the line. So in your case, it's a different case, Coach. I've followed your career. I've seen you as a hell of a player, both in the pros, and you've earned your this right to be a head football coach. And thank God, and hopefully you feel the same way for HBCUs. Still, they built HBCUs for education. Then in my time, building HBCU for HBCU graduates. But now it's turning back to HBCUs are now good for Black coaches because they're not hiring us in the PWI. They're not giving us those head jobs. As good as you've been and as good as you were and all the money you made for Florida State, and as terrible as they're doing now and being in the past, have they ever had a head coach that's been Black?
One, yes. Actually had an interim.
I know. What's his name? I can't.
Willie Taggart.
Willie Taggart.
Willie Taggart. Right. And then that was a short fuse. That was a short stint. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how I feel about it. So I don't want you to be thinking, oh, Coach Cole is against me. Not at all, man. I wish you well. Anything that you could do with Mississippi Valley is going to be a plus for the SWAC.
Well, I appreciate that. And I agree with you saying about that opportunity. And they're doing it at other places. I feel like I should have been given this opportunity at any university, right? I watched one of my former teammates with the Patriots retire on a Friday. He had a job at this school, and then 5 years later, he's a head coach in the NFL. You're like, are you kidding me? But that's what happened. So I am very thankful, and I feel like I'm blessed. Even in this, what everybody looks at is, oh man, that's probably the worst job in the country. They don't have no money and they budget. I had to take a pay cut to come here, right? But the passion is what? It's to coach and give back. I can't take it with me. All that stuff. So why not come in here and try to change your mindset, change your culture, and give the young men something to look forward to and show them love, tough love, understanding. I had a meeting with 6 of my guys by academics, man. They did really, really bad this past fall, right? And I told them, y'all, after we got through talking, I got on them, basically, you got one choice. You got one choice, right? Get it right, or you got to go. And then we showed the love. We got a plan together. We hugged and did all that. And I think that is what it's about. Instead of just jumping on the young man, using foul language and all that, and then everybody walk out of there and they mad. That's not the way to do it. I don't think that's the way to do it.
Hey, Coach T-Buck, we got a Mississippi caller. I don't know what they gonna say, Coach Buckley, but if you want to hear from them, let's see. Caller, you're live on air with HBCU Coaches Corner.
What's going on, Rod? This is Derek.
Hey, what up, Derek? Go. What you got
Coach
to say,
Buckley,
Derek?
I'm a 2002 Mississippi Valley State University alum. I want to welcome you to the family. And I like the idea of the alumni game. I think that's something that is great to get Valley legends back on campus. And you have a lot of one local legend, I don't know if you've already met him, Corey Holmes down the road in Metcalf, Mississippi. Running back, one of my Valley legends. If you haven't gotten in touch with him, he's someone you definitely want to get in touch with locally. Valley legend, local legend. Another Hall of Fame, Valley Hall of Famer, a guy by the name of Terrell Buckley. He lives in Texas. I can get in touch with him for you. You know, we have a lot of potential. And when you were hired to be our head coach, a lot of people was like, well, he gonna be the next prime. No, he gonna be the first T-Buck. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Rock made a lot of indications that you follow Coach Prime. He failed to mention that you broke Prime's records in 3 years, not 4. So 21 picks, I think you had at Florida State, while he had 14. So you blazed your own trail, and you're gonna blaze your own trail at Baptist. So I wish you much luck and success.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, get in contact with those guys. They're more than welcome to come over. And I just want to say again, this is not the love and respect I have for Deion. Doing it first is what it's about. And if following Deion means winning, creating a legacy, we want to do that, right? I'm going to do it my way. He's going to do it his way. But I want them wins. I want them wins.
Yeah. And
he's stacking them wins.
And we also have a long giving on. It's called Friends of Valley Football. I don't know if they've reached out to them. Pretty sure they have. Everett Bean, he's one of my fraternity brothers. He's over that. He manages that. We donate, to that when he lets us know. A couple of years back, I donated when I can't remember his name right now, when he was the head coach.
Well, y'all keep that going, man. We got the V.
Thomas was the head coach. I don't know if you still have those projectors we bought for it, but Friends of Valley Football. That's the long giving arm. So I'm pretty sure they will reach out to you if not already.
Let's get it.
To get the money going.
Hey,
I'm the coach at Valley.
Thank you, Derek, for calling in, man. We appreciate your support, brother. And look like you you already got a fan, Coach T-Buck. Look like he got some money in his hand too, Coach. So we need to figure out a place where he can give that money if you don't already have a place, Coach.
We started a development fund yet over in the development department where people can send the money and earmark it to football.
They have what I've been introduced to is a V Club. That dude, I guess that's the same thing, but yes, the V Club is where that you can earmark whatever you want. So the V Club is doing an excellent job.
I might have to talk to you off the air, Coach, to give you the HBCU systematic way of getting your football money now.
Okay.
Are you gonna handle your own schedule as well? Who you guys gonna play, or y'all already got?
Yes, I missed the cutoff by I think a week or something for this year, but yes, like it was a game I wanted to play, but the schedule.
Hey, Prairie View needs a homecoming opponent. If you open
we
to
have
it.
one. It's set, man. Soon as I got here and started talking schedule, they dropped the schedule on us, right? Like, hey, man. So yes, I'm gonna be involved in that. We the type of players we're gonna get, they need that exposure too, right? And the only way you get that is playing better. The outside conference games, getting in with those supposedly bigger and better teams.
Coach T, we got another caller, Jay from Baton Rouge. You don't have to take him if you don't want to take it from Baton Rouge. I understand.
No, call me in Baton Rouge. That's my area. That's my recruiting area.
Hey, Jay, you on the line?
Hey, Coach, congratulations on your hire at Valley. Got a question to ask you. Maybe yes, maybe not. You coaching at Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Have any of the players from those two institutions reached out to you about coming over, or have you reached out to them? Hang up, listen, yes.
Well, we cannot reach out right now. When I got in, the transfer portal was done. I'm pretty sure before it's over with, we're gonna have some conversations with some people. But at that, when I came, it was too late. That was closed. So. You come around in May, you're gonna see some things. The portal gonna be popping.
Hey, now, Coach Buck, you were known as a recruiter in coaching circles, right? Mm-hmm. And again, I guess with that being said, how much of over the years have you? I know at Mississippi State you spent time recruiting Mississippi. Did you also recruit Mississippi while you were at Florida State? And while you were at Louisville?
I recruited Florida, Mississippi from day one. right? So it's nothing new to me. I recruited the Delta all over this state. So if you look at Akron roster, you look at Louisville, especially Louisville roster, you're gonna see a bunch of Mississippi players. One of the top safeties, defensive players played at Louisville. Then obviously Mississippi, between the Gulf Coast and the Louisiana area right there, New Orleans. If you know Slidell, that's right on the borderline. And Ole Miss was no different. One of the best players I got out of there was, I remember recruiting Prince, DeAndre Prince from Charleston. So that it is like, I mean, that's what we do. That's what I do. Again, I keep telling y'all, Mississippi made. What do y'all think I'm gonna do? let them go somewhere else? No, sir. That ain't happening.
I think one of the good things, Coach, in hearing you talk is that you're not surprised about being in the seat because you've been assistant coach before. So you know kind of the lay of the land of the recruiting aspect, and I think that's a real big positive. And of course, who you are and what you've done, not only just on the coaching realm, but as a player. So I think Mississippi Valley is right on with the hire. I think, and I look forward, to you bringing that success there.
Well,
and we need that conference, Coach. We definitely need it in the conference. We need Valley to come on. They've been down a long time, Coach. A long time. Hey, Coach, all you do is go up. All you do is go up.
Well, they said that 15 years ago. They said that 10 years ago. They said that 5, like that only place you can go. But as you can see, you can stay the same.
Yeah.
Or get worse.
Have you reached
that ain't our attitude though. So I feel very good about what my abilities with the staff, the support staff, and building that foundation, getting that infrastructure corrected, right? The trainers, the strength coach, the recruiting coordinator, the GM, the proper coaches, the analysts. All those things is what it takes to build a program correctly, which equals what? Money, right? So we're going to find it and make this thing happen.
Let me ask you this.
Have you reached out to Willie Totten?
No, Willie is coaching somewhere. Y'all know that?
He is Southern Baton Rouge.
I actually had Willie on my list, and then he's coaching with the enemy. No, we can't. Willie was still in the darn. Willie Totten was still talking about he's still in all that text thread. I'm like, do y'all know Willie is coaching for the other team and we got to play?
His backyard bump up against the campus, so he hears the band every night.
Yeah, but we'll talk to Willie. I'm gonna say hi to Willie on game day, but man, hey, Willie on the other side, man. We'll get Willie next time.
Wait before you go, hold on, because I gotta get this out.
Go ahead.
Coach, listen. The GOAT played in Mississippi Valley, Jerry Rice.
Yes.
Have you been able to, I know you've been there, is that something that you're looking to do to get Jerry to be more involved with Valley and to possibly potentially come back? Because again, I know you know Jerry, you played against him, you're a tremendous competitor. Is that something, because again, you got Vincent Undertaker Brown, you talked about Ashley Ambrose, Coach just talked about Willie Totten. He's great. But again, Jerry Rice is Jerry Rice. And he is the epitome of what their school and put that school on the map. Is there any way that you, or have you thought about, hey, how can I get Jerry to come back and talk to the kids, or be part of the program? As motivation, or help.
Absolutely. What Jerry's like right now, Jerry's like Beyonce, right? You have to know how to approach.
Right.
You let Jerry Rice decide on his own. Jerry knows, obviously, he's welcome anytime, right?
Right.
So it's gonna be one of those, like when you drop your album at 12:01, everybody go crazy. So when you pull up there and you're like, man, Jerry Rice is here, you're gonna go crazy, right? So yes, that Jerry Rice is always on my mind, right? But you got to know what you're doing, dealing with the greatest.
Well, I wanted to say that, Coach, because, and this is in defense, because again, I've been in these spaces and I've been around, and I'm glad you just explained it, because what people say, oh, but Jerry Rice don't care about Valley, Jerry Rice doesn't care.
Yeah.
And like you say, Jerry Rice is the GOAT. And there are things that I know you're putting in place. I wanted just to get that out, that you are, like I say, at the right time. We'll, like I said, probably
let me add this to Jerry too. Do people realize Jerry gets hammered probably about everything, right? And it's not just his. Like, come on, man. And that's because obviously he's the greatest,
right?
And it's not his fault, but you get worn down. You get tired, right? So you got to, I want to be in there and understanding that, hey man, at your own pace. This is Jerry's town. I mean, hell, come on, Jerry do what he want to do.
I think that's a great. Let me ask you this here, Coach T-Buck, because you bring up something I think is very interested in HBCU culture, Coach. When a guy goes out and comes from an HBCU and he's successful, I'm talking about wildly successful. It's not that they take pride in his success, right? But they also at the same time think that guy who is wildly successful owes them something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think to your point, Coach Buckley, is that I think it's fair to say we want our guys to go off and be very successful. And once they take the springboard that they use HBCUs for to go be successful, representing the HBCU in a positive light is all that they owe, right? They don't owe anything else, do they?
Well, first of all, they done gave you memories. They done gave you bragging rights. You played ball, right? I always tell people were they acting like that when Jerry Rice freshman year? No. It was out there, he went out there and laid it down. And then he went to San Francisco and just turned into the greatest. So it's one of those things that it takes time because you're doing so much. And I respect that. Obviously, I've been there and I understand that it slowly comes around and you got to honor and be just thankful you have those memories. Like, oh man, I remember walking on campus with you. I remember this in the game and hanging out. That is priceless. How many times can you say that about somebody, right? That everybody loves and they consider one of the greatest. So, yeah, you look at that, man. He's given a lot just from being here. The memories those are priceless.
Now, what do you say, Coach Campbell? Coach Campbell or Coach Cole, about the fan base, the administrations being entitled to some type of access to their greats?
Well, I think Coach Buckley said it best, and Coach knows this because he went to Florida State, where there's a lot of players, and there have been, Coach knows this, and he's been at Ole Miss and Mississippi State. There are some programs they want the guys to come back, and then all of a sudden you hear, well, no, we don't want to come because there's a new regime here, and then you have a coach that says, no, we're going to embrace our tradition and things like that. So I think Coach is the perfect person to bridge both sides. He understands, he's been a pro. He's played at the highest level in college. He's played the highest level in NFL. But he also has relationships. Coach, I think that's one of the reasons why they hired you, because of your relationships, I'm assuming, along with your knowledge of football. Because I think for the job, you're going to need your great knowledge of football, which clearly you have, because you've already given us lingo and things that a lot of people don't understand. But also, Coach, you have the personality to build bridges. And I think that's what people want to see. So for me, seeing a Mississippi Valley, a Florida A&M, or Jackson State, I want all of our legends to come back, to Coach's point, because those are our guys that, Coach, before you got on, we kind of talked about this. And like I said, as a Mississippi coach, you notice when I found out you were from Mississippi, hey man, that's my guy. T-Buck is my guy. And you know that if we saw you out, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way we roll. So we root for everybody. So I'm going to root for Valley because I'm from Mississippi. I'm going to root for Jackson State because I'm from Mississippi. You know this, Coach. You're from the coast. When you saw that, like I said, you knew Valley, Mississippi, Alcorn. You rooted for them. You went to Florida State, but you were a football player. You had friends that played at these schools. These was your boys and stuff like that. You're in that region with a lot of alums. So again, I think, Rocky, we're always going to support that and want that to come back. But I think, to Coach's point, it's also got to be a respect factor on both sides. Respect that person's time, because a person that at that high level, You got to respect their time. You can't just say, oh, just jump on a plane and come down here. Like you say, Jerry Rice might be booked for the next 2 years, just business wise, and it had nothing to do with coach asking him. You know what I mean? And that's a true statement. And I'm gonna say this, coach, just not to get off on a tangent. We've been crying about LeBron. LeBron sponsors FAMU, coach, and people from FAMU are losing their mind. LeBron ain't came down to FAMU, bro. This is LeBron James. You know what I'm saying?
LeBron James, man.
This LeBron James. You know, and we do feel some kind of way, but as a person that's been around athletes, done business, man, that dude is busy. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you, like you say, you just gotta work the schedule and do your thing. Because like I say, Coach, we're in the same thing with LeBron James. So I totally understand with that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I think on HBCU level, we don't do a good job of it. We don't do a good job of keeping in touch with our superstar players. We don't do a good job of keeping in touch with our championship football teams. And I'm saying as a whole, you know, some schools do. There's no question, and I know Buckley at Florida State. We played Florida A&M when I was a coach, and we actually went over to see Florida State, you know, just to see how you guys do stuff. And I don't know, I might throw some things that might ring, because you were after Deion, right?
Yes.
And when we went over there, they still had Deion's locker up there with his jersey and all in. And one of the things as we walked through the locker, we took our players over there. They talked about having the locker room recruit ready. I mean, if anybody come over there, it's clean, just like if it was the first day. So I think we don't do a good job of that. The other thing is just like now, you know, we're bringing in these celebrity coaches, and now they're taking pictures with the mayor and the governor. You know, and I tell you guys, these things should be already in place. So, and one thing I'm saying, administratively, we're behind about knowing how to run a football, a first-class football organization.
Program.
One of the things you brought up, Coach Buckley, that opened my eyes, that saying, yeah, that's what we need. You know, and I'll learn one other thing. Be patient, Coach Buckley. Be patient. Don't assume, be patient. You know what I mean? And you already got the ideal. You've been all the major places. We don't have to be just like them, but we can be something like them within, you know, within Valley. You know what I mean? There's the Cadillac, then there's another car, a Lincoln, then there's a smaller version of a luxury car. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, are you there, buddy?
Them.
Hello?
So
hey, let me. I'm gonna get you on here in just a second.
Not
right?
only
Just bear with me.
I don't know, Coach Buckley. The SWAC is the 5th leading conference that has Hall of Famers. I know we're dropping because those players don't come no more, but we have more Hall of Famers than most schools, Division I, 8 schools. So we have it, but administratively, we haven't done a good job of making sure we keep in touch with these guys and making sure that they understand that they always can come home.
Absolutely. Hey, Coach Buckley, we got one more caller, and then we'll wrap you up, Coach. We know you say you had a long day, Coach, so we want to be respectful of your time.
Ball, man. I don't.
All right, Coach. You say when. Hey, Mr. Whitehurst, you're live on HBCU Coaches Corner.
Hey, how you doing, Coach Buckley?
How you doing?
Hey, my question is that now, you know, one relevant guy is Michael Strahan. He played. You would never think he played for a SWAC school. But Michael Strahan is so relevant in the media or whatever, but still, yeah, a lot of people. He could be the flagship for HBCUs because he's more relevant. He's more relevant than a Deion to me because he resonates to both sides. You know, he reaches both audience.
Well, he's on TV.
To me, that's critical.
Yeah, he's on TV all the time, and I think I don't know what he does behind closed doors. Maybe he's doing a lot of stuff behind closed doors, and I don't know how much. I mean, I don't watch him all the time. If he's mentioned it or done some stuff or went back to school, I don't know. And I know part of Shannon Sharp and what they do on First Take, where they go back every week. I mean, you got to be intentional about it. But the guy owns that platform, so he can do that. Michael might can't do that. He got to do stuff behind closed doors. So we don't really know everything that goes on, you know.
Well, let me piggyback on that, Coach. I coach Mike Strahan.
Yes.
I was, on the staff as a coach, and he does some great things for Texas Southern. He did some great things for Deion Sanders. He tried to stay close and up to par. He's actually on our board, chair one of our boards at Texas Southern University. So, like you said earlier about Jerry Rice, now these guys are being pulled from every which way of work. But Carla, you are right. You always can do more. And Mike is a very well-known guy.
Yeah, I got one more question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my other question is that, okay, it's a new way of recruiting, and the tools that you have. You have the Twitter, you have Huddle, you have Max Prep, and a lot of times because of financial strains with HBCU schools, you can get those bags, dig in that bag, and recruit that way instead of going to these people's houses or saying you don't have enough funds to travel here or travel there. How do you use those tools? How do you break down the film of those? So do you have help with that? Are you individually doing it? How do you break down the criteria of those players?
Well, you use the criteria. I don't know if you've seen our recruiting budget, but he's going out that much anyway. But anyway, here's the problem if you don't see the guy. Most of the time they put in there, let's say we take a kid to say he's 6'3", and nobody ever lays eyes on him. You sign him, he come on campus, he 5'11", guard, 240 pounds. He's supposed to be 6'3", 290. Now you like, we're in trouble. So imagine you sign 15 guys and you get 7 of those guys that's lying, and you never get a chance to see the school, like their transcripts. So going out and laying eyes on these players is like, it's crucial if you're gonna get the right player. Because I've had our kids show up, man. I promise you that wasn't a kid on the tape. You're like, there's no way. Hey, there is no way possible that's that kid. He don't even move the same way. So you could get hustled now. If you don't go lay your eyes on them kids,
yeah,
you gonna get hustled.
Okay, true. Yeah, that's true. That's true on every level.
That's why it's important to get a good coaching staff around you. They got some years in this game because they know coaches all over the conference because they've been coaching everywhere. One of the things we used to use, Coach Buckley, was we used to hopefully he can run by the ref. And if he's tall as the ref or taller than the ref, then he's true to size. But if he underneath the ref, he pulling a fast one on you, Coach.
Yeah.
Okay, and last but not least, I'm gonna give a shout out. My son's trying to find a team, 2 years in JUCO, so he'll be a transfer. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Kylan Whitehurst, outside linebacker edge rusher, 6'2", 215. Check him out. So I guess he basically has so the JUCO changed the rules, NCAA. So he has 3 years eligibility left. So check him out. I'm just giving a shout out to him.
What junior college?
He was at Trinity Valley.
Okay.
That's in Texas.
Out of Texas.
That's in Texas.
Yeah, Trinity Valley.
What high school did he go to?
He went to the Colony High School.
Oh, okay.
And,
all right, the Colony. All right.
Didn't Ryan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So,
all right. So he played at the highest level. He played at the highest level. So
yeah.
They're gonna change that rule this summer, I guarantee you. They're gonna change that.
Oh yeah. But
all right.
Now I got. All right. I appreciate it, fellas. I'll keep in contact with you, and glad for the show.
Hey man, we got to. Hey, Coach T Buck, he stuck a recruit call in on you, Coach. Does that count against you? It's supposed to be no contact, ain't it? This time of year, ain't it, Coach?
I ain't mention no names.
Hey, Coach, let me ask you a question.
Coach Cole handle that.
That's right.
Let me ask you a question, Coach, because you saying something that I think is very important when you talk about Mississippi Made. But it also goes, Coach, like I say, you're a year younger than me. we've got a lot of people that I'm pretty sure that you went to high school, went to college, that are not high school coaches. Have you been able to tap into that system, down there on that coast, that you maybe guys that you went to high school with or played against, and now they're down there high school coaches, and they can give you an honest evaluation? Have you been able to maybe start tapping into that, as you say, that Mississippi Made pipeline?
Listen, I tap into anybody that I feel like understands my vision, what we're doing. And somebody, I use barbers. I mean, the barbershop, it doesn't matter, but it has to make sense. I cannot tell you how many calls or texts I get that says that word, oh, he's a dog, he's an animal. Then you put on the tape and you're like, are you kidding me? So I started out about 25 of those guys. Now I'm down to about 5 because the other ones just, I don't know what they were looking at.
Wait,
but
Coach,
you try.
Coach, I'm gonna give you a quick recruiting story that just happened this year. I talked to a lot of coaches, Coach. Dad said offers were coming in slow, right? I sent it to a coach. I won't name the coach, HBCU coach. Sent him some tape. He did an evaluation. He said, hey, this guy can play anywhere. And I said, Coach, follow up on him because he's looking for a spot. Well, the guy ends up signing with Texas A&M Commerce because none of the HBCU coaches I sent this tape to followed back up with it. So, and you know how it is with it getting short, time's getting short. Guys I don't know if the guy just was telling me that because that was my friend's son, or they just, but he ended up getting a full ride from Texas A&M Commerce now. They're not what you would call a powerhouse, but they did sign him to a full ride. So sometimes I don't get how coaches, and it may not be HBCUs, but what's the protocol for following up on a kid that you evaluate, that you determine that can play, and once you got enough corners, you don't contact them anymore? What's the protocol?
It's the coach. I've up until I went to the XFL, I had eval, coach, and develop over 30 guys that have signed contracts. At one point, I've had 2 of the highest paid corners in the NFL history, Xavier Rose and Jair Alexander, right? 2 different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
It's the code of conduct. Who's the coach? I always call guys back and tell them. Or I tell them, no, we can't take him. Or no, he's not good enough. Not lying to guys, but you have some of that. Coach Cole probably had some of that. And I was telling my coach, we're not doing that. We are going to call and nip this in the bud right now. No, he can't play. Yes, he can. And today, what you have, besides like yourself, you got a bunch of runners. You got a bunch of guys that are charging these kids, telling them they're going to get scholarships. And then they bugging coaches, and some of them try to avoid them and not tell them the truth. I literally we signed a young man that was what you were just saying. Take a look at him. Coach, he need a home. Yeah, we looked at him. He was a good player. We called back. Hey, let's get him. Before we could get off the phone good, he was selling somebody else. It's like, Coach, let us enjoy this right now, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Well, like I say, Coach Buckley, I just had this one guy, this one kid, which was my teammate's son.
Yeah.
Well, he's an academic kid. First of all, he's not necessarily he's a really good football player, but he's looking for an academic home. Texas A&M Commerce really doesn't provide the academic experience that he wants, but he wants to play football. But he would much rather have went to a Grambling, FAMU.
So
maybe
why he just didn't come on an academic scholarship more on?
Well, Coach, the end of the day, you got to get those too.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I would think, and this is just me, I know there are tons of players out there, and this is a high school kid, so the game may have changed by now. But my thought is, if the coach tells me, "Oh, this kid can play anywhere," then you follow up if he's your kind of guy. And then the other coaches I sent the tape to, they didn't even give me a response. But he ended up getting a couple offers, one from and which was an FCS school. So it worked out for him and his family. But he really wanted to.
Erase their numbers. Don't bother him no more. So when you get a great player and the player say you got to call Rob, then they'll be scared to call. So erase their numbers, and them players like that, send them over here. We'll take care of it. We'll let you know.
I did, coach. Hey, and he's a corner coach, and I know you would give an honest evaluation because there's one thing I think you know, coach. You know corners.
I know corners. I know corner. I'm a ball coach. I know them all, coach.
Well, coach, let's go lead me into.
I just have to play corner, but I'm a ball coach.
Well, coach, you are a coach, and you are coaching the SWAC East Division with the defending HBCU national champ. Florida A&M won it the year before. Jack State's win to 2 previous Celebration Bowls. So you're basically in, as we like to say, the hardest division in HBCU football. What are you looking at as that challenge when you're going out and every week is going to be a dogfight? Again, you got Eddie Robinson. I'm pretty sure you played against him in the NFL down at Alabama State. Sam Shade, right at the same age as we are, Alabama. Like I say, same guys that you know. What are you when you're looking at that?
Was Cozy your teammate?
No, Cozy was after me, but I know Cozy. I helped him a little bit,
Okay.
So you're in this division with, like I say, champions. What are you looking to do with your, again, everybody knows, like I say, that T-Buck chip, and you're looking at, as because again, you're looking up. What are you going to tell your guys when you go play the Florida A&Ms and the Jackson States and stuff like that?
If they're the best, we want to be the best, right? Well, here they are. So it's going to be a measuring stick. That's simple. That, to me, it's beautiful that we don't have to go search and wonder and think about that. It's going to be right in our face. So it'll be easy for us to identify where we at and how much we have to improve.
I don't think Cozy's way younger.
Nah, he's
just a couple years younger, a few years younger, right, Coach?
I think Cody came in 94, I think. I think that's about right. I think he came in 94.
Yeah, he's not way younger. Yeah.
I just look younger than I look very young. That's part of the problem.
So we don't want to keep you all night, man. I know
all right, man.
you getting going, man.
Yeah.
And I
thank you.
Yeah, I thank you, man, for giving us your time, and we definitely will start you off in the fall because we have a lineup of coaches, of the SWAC and the MEAC come on and give us their preseason. So we would hopefully extend that invitation to you, and you would accept it. And I can't say enough. I think Mississippi Valley got the right guy. I wish you all the luck in the world. And I'll say I got a 6'3", 200-pound player that I coached his father. And the kid played 4 years of basketball and 1 year of football. But I got some film. We got to exchange numbers. I get your number from Coach, and I'll send it to you. I'll text everything to you.
Thank you guys for having me on, man. It's been fun. This is what we do, right? This is what we want to bring up here. Anytime, just let me know. I enjoyed it. Appreciate y'all. Good night.
And when you get that to give the money, we can put that on our show.
I just dropped it, Coach. Listen, I'm gonna help you. I just dropped that Mississippi Valley V Club link for everybody. Because, like I say, because Coach. So all you Valley people that's watching, hey, listen. It's 19th head coach. We getting that number 19 roller. So we, like I say, $19, $1,900, $19,000. Let's get this going right now. And if for them big folks, hey, Coach, listen, I'm just gonna put it out there. Hey, if you're gonna give Coach $27,000, he might give you a signed jersey.
Hey man, you come to practice, you call the first play of the game. Let's go.
Hey, what's that saying they got in Valley, Coach? You're looking down the barrel of the devil's gun. Is that what they say in Valley?
Yes, sir, baby.
Yeah, that's it.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it, Coach Buck.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, that was another great interview. by the legendary Green Bay Packer and Miami Dolphin. Championship. He won a championship with the Patriots. None other than Terrell Buckley, also known as T-Buck, now known as the 19th head coach of Mississippi Valley State. So, Coach Cole, is he Coach Cole approved?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think he has the right idea. I think he understands that he's not coming in a big expectation of what's around him. I think he knows about what he knows that he has to build from the inside out. And that's real important.
I wanted y'all to talk. I didn't want to bring Coach T-Buck in on this, but my man Johnny Thornton put a comment up here. I think it was Johnny, where he said, oh, here it is. He said, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the wrong attitude here to have for HBCUs. But here's what Johnny Thornton says. Every HBCU alumni owes the university. However, because an alum is famous or blessed beyond measure, the alum does not owe anything extra.
All right, let me answer that. All right, let me answer that. No, you don't owe anything extra. But what I will say, and this goes back to those that have achieved great success, you have actually more to give. So your 10% doesn't hurt you as much as my 10% because I don't make it you. So I don't look at that. And, you know, again, that's one of the things. When you move into a space, like I'm in a space now, my kids are grown, I ain't got no bills, I can give extra money to FAMU. So I don't sit back and expect somebody that's young at FAMU, that's getting kids, stuff like that. I can give $1,000 for FAMU. I can raise $100,000 for FAMU with my classmates because all of us have been working 20, 30 years. So there is something that, if you have the ability to give a little extra, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I think, to what Coach is saying, I think you can't go to a Jerry Rice and say, hey, Jerry, give us $40 million. That's not reasonable either. That's not reasonable either. But I think there are things when you have people, because like I say, what's his name? Carmelo Anthony, and I know his folks just gave Syracuse like $15 million for their basketball facility. $15 million. That's not reasonable either. But I think there are things when you have people, because like I
okay,
say,
we got a caller. Hold up before we take this caller. I'm gonna mute him right quick because he's listening to you, Mr. Campbell, in the background, and we got a chance to listen to you as well. But before we go forward and take any more phone calls, I want everybody to take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of people on here right now. We got a lot of people who we've taken calls. I want to take this time out for everybody to like and subscribe so that we can get maximum reach on this. Coach Buckley came on here and he did a great interview. And I want to thank him for doing that. I also want to thank Coach Cole for bringing guests on, and also Mr. Campbell for lining up T-Buck. But we gotta continue to like, continue to subscribe. That's how we grow this audience. That's how we make the HBCU space even better. But go ahead, and I just want to so you guys know we got a caller in the queue.
Coach, they want to go ahead and hear your comment on that, your perspective on that, since I've already answered.
Guys, it goes both ways. And people give money to people. And you guys, I'm a big thing on family. I'm big on taking care of your own. And because through my glasses and through my experience, most programs and most business have success when people matriculate through it and move up to the top. It's just like in college. I think if you take care of your own, and I just spoke earlier about our administrators don't do a good job of keeping in touch with those guys, making those guys a part of the program. I think that's where it hurts at. When it comes down to giving, people give money to people. And in these universities, especially in HBCUs, you got to keep people around that university that knows somebody, that's a grandfather, that's an Archie type of guy that's on that campus or in that athletic department to make sure that we don't forget especially these superstar guys. And we got to reach out to them, man. Hey, Black folk, we not been taught to be patriotic because we were brought over here. And once we was brought over here, we were always taught not to trust. You know what I'm saying? So, we're a different type of people. And we want to touch you. You know what I'm saying? And that you got to be that. And we always talked about this too. One of my things. When you get to become a president, CEO, administrator, you are a server. Just like Jesus was a server to the people. And Jesus washed feet. He made the blind see. He made the cripple walk. We can't get in these places, in these HBCU spaces, and be leaders and come to these events and sit over to the corner and expect everybody to come over and kiss the ring.
Well,
we should be able to be historians about HBCUs. You know what I mean? So we'll know who was who and who was what, or at least have somebody on those campuses to say, this is who this is, this is who this is. Prime example, and I know we got a caller. Guy I played with named Terrell Buckley led our school in history of receiving to a guy named until Cortez Hankston, who now coaches at LSU. And they got a Hall of Fame this year, right? He was nominated and was not chosen to be in the Hall of Fame. And the guy went on to play for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's my roommate. I mean, and when stuff like that happen, man, it's a cloud. You know what I mean? There's no way that he shouldn't be inducted to the Hall of Fame. So you know who we inducted into the Texas Southern Athletic Hall of Fame?
Don't do it, Coach. Don't do it. Don't do it, Coach. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
You're going to do it anyway, so go ahead and do it.
The commissioner of our conference, who's not even a Texas Southern graduate. He graduated from Prairie View. He's not even in Prairie View's Hall of Fame. That throws bitterness through everything, man. And we got to stop doing that. We got to stop doing that, and we got to start doing the right thing. So go ahead with the caller, and we got to get better at that. We got to get better at that. And there's nothing thrown at him. I mean, it's just the process. We got to work better with the process.
All right, caller, before I go to you, first of all, turn your background down. Turn your background down. You're live on HBCU Coaches Corner. What's your name and where you calling from?
Rocky, this is Johnny T, and I called to clarify my statement.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is, Rocky, can you hear me?
Yeah. You got real internet. They done got real internet out there where you at, Johnny T.
Yes, sir. Ain't on top of it, it's raining, but we got you loud and clear. No, what I'm saying, Rocky, is when you attend an HBCU, you're there because there's special attention that the HBCU is giving you. You're there because there might not have been other options. A lot of people say, well, I could have gone here, I could have gone there. Most of the times you could not. The best place for you is at the HBCU. And because of the special attention that we give, the intimate attention that we give our students at the HBCU, the odds are every time the school does more for you than you can ever be able to do for the school if you be there successfully. And that's why I say everyone that matriculates, or even if you don't graduate, if you learn something from the HBCU, you owe those people, you owe to push back into that system so that it can sustain itself and be better in years to come. But because a person is a big time celebrity or makes it big, we shouldn't expect that person to do extra. That person should do the best that they can do. And we just can't say, well, we're just going to lean on Jerry Rice because he's a superstar. Everybody that came through should have an obligation to owe. I'll even go further, Rocky. If we're going to trace our history, this is Black History Month, and we're African Americans. We know that none of us During segregation, we were not allowed at these other major institutions. So where do we get educated? Where do we get trained? The HBCUs. So regardless of where you went to college, your lineage about 97% of the time comes through an HBCU. Because the people that got trained first and the majority of the educators got trained at HBCUs. So we have to give respect and keep it in perspective and honor our history and honor our past. And we're not going to have a past to history if we don't put money in it to sustain it right now. So that's it. Thank you, guys. You had a good show.
Hey, I appreciate it, Johnny. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
All right,
go ahead, Coach.
Okay, I got to push back, and I think I don't. And again, John, if you want to call back in, for a lot of us, we wanted to be there because that was the best place to be. I knew I was going to HBC when I walked out the room. I have family members; they knew they were going to Jack State because of especially computer science, education, the business school, FAMU, business, architecture, engineering, Southern, nursing, law. So you have these schools, agriculture, Alcorn, and things like that. So there were a lot of people that didn't end up at these schools. They went there because that was the best choice that they made. And again, it proved the point. So I don't know if that's what you meant, but I wanted to clarify for a lot of us is that, hey, we went there because I knew if I went to FAMU, hey, man, I was going to be successful. My family members that went to Jack State, because they were like, well, Uncle Irvin was successful. We all gonna go to Jack State too. And they all successful. My kids, I got kids went to Alcorn, got kids went to Bethune-Cookman, Tougaloo, because they had saw what had came before them. So that's the thing about it. For me, I think the majority of people don't end up there. And for those, and I'll say this, you have people in Jackson that they because of finance, and I will say this now, especially in this time, because finance does make a difference with college now, because we have a lot of people that can't go out of state, they have to stay. But even those people that say, what, I can't leave Jackson, I have to go to Jack State, that's the best decision they ever made in their life, because you find out 4 years later that's where you should have been anyway. Or if you're from Tallahassee, well, I can't leave and go to Alabama State, I got to go to FAMU. Or Baton Rouge, well, I wanted to get out of Baton Rouge, but I got to go to Southern. But then you find out 4 years later that was probably the best thing for you. So I just want to kind of put that out there.
Yeah. Once again, we got to make football important. We got to make our athletic important. And it starts with football. And it starts from the top. We got to stop downplaying the football program. We got to go and get another financial model, I think, about funding our athletics. I think the old model of we don't have enough money is dead. I think some of the same schools are on our level. I'm not talking about the big schools, on our level. They sacrifice the school sometimes, and I shouldn't say sacrifice the school. They take playing football important. They understand how many coaches you need and what you need over there. And they give the school, give their football program those things. And everything starts from the top, man. Until you get a president board to understand that and that's going to value athletics and going to value football, we're going to always be like that.
Coach Cole, let me offer another perspective, right? And this is not necessarily an HBCU perspective, but this is just a perspective of maybe a college athlete could feel this way, is that between 1981 and 1985, I gave my blood, sweat, and tears to the university on the field. And I went on to be successful in football or basketball or whatever. And every time they mention my name, they mention my university. Every time I made All-Pro, they mentioned my university. Every time they mentioned I won a Super Bowl, they mentioned my university. As I retired, I move on to retirement. And when they read my bio, they mention that I graduated from my university, right? Mm-hmm. That exposure that they're giving the university all those years, right? in my opinion, I wouldn't say they owe the university anything. In my opinion, the university owes them. In my opinion. And they owe them to be recognized on campus, to be made welcome whenever they come, to give them a special place, whether it be Mississippi Valley, Texas Southern, Jackson State, to let them know that they are among the greats and are honorable that went to that university. And for that, and from whatever time on, they will always be remembered. Once you do that to one of those people, right, because of what they did, then I think the relationship can be symbiotic. Until you recognize these men who gave so much as student athletes and place them in a place where they were be remembered from whatever time going forward, they don't have any special obligation to the university. They already gave far more than anybody else in the student body, far more than anybody else who attended school from 1981 to 1985. It's time for those people who attended from 1981 to 1985 who didn't put away those who didn't put blood, sweat, and tears in, who were able to go to school and party and have fun and go to parties and cheer at those games. It's time for those people now to give, because that great athlete between 1981 and 1985, they already gave. The other people should now pitch in and begin to give, not that great athlete.
All right, let me jump on this right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna name, because I know this for a fact. Grambling, Jack State, FAMU, and Southern. I was at 3 of these presentations, 3 out of 4. And alumni that ain't never played no sports gave each one of those schools in the last 10 years $1 million. They ain't played no sports. You didn't even know who they were. And I was at the FAMU presentation, I was at the Grambling presentation, I was at the Jack State presentation. And the only reason why I knew about the Southern one, because it was happening, one of my boys like, yo, this dude just gave Southern $1 million. So it ain't just about the athletes. So we alums have, first of all, to Coach Cole's point, we ain't got like Florida State. Florida State got 50 pros playing right now. So they didn't go to those guys and say that. The people that are lifeblood rocket that raise the money, when you go to Jack State homecoming, FAMU homecoming, Southern homecoming, Grambling homecoming, those are alums that just work and say, you know what? And especially them old heads that are class of 65, and then you like, what the hell Miss Meredith gave them $400,000? Because she been saving money and putting in a pension, and now she getting a lump sum payment. So I'm telling you,
the money when
you go to Jack State home, the thing about it is that the alums have always given money. I think to Coach Cole's point, I think what the disconnect, and this goes back to people we have presidents that don't even know the school that are coming to be president. So again, I'm not gonna say no name, but if you got a Jerry Rice, a Walter Payton, a Ken Riley, a Michael Strahan, and you don't know that they actually played there, and you the president, because Jackson State got Walter Payton has a center with his name on it. Okay? That's honoring him. I mean, Eddie Robinson has a whole Hall of Fame. I could go on. I think the baseball field is named for Roger Cadar down in Southern. I could go on and on and on. Hell, the stadium at Valley says Rice Totten. You know, so I think we do, but I think to Coach Cole's point, we had a disconnect. And Coach, you know that through line. It happened right when the SEC rose in those 90s, and they took all of our players, and then we became band schools. Now, what's happening now? Jack State's back being a football school. I love the boom, but guess them folks down at Jack State is raising money for the football team. FAMU, all we heard, marching 100, marching 100. Now, because we went to Celebration Bowl and we played Jackson State and everybody doing that, now we're back to being a football school. Grambling, them folks at Grambling ain't going to keep tolerating that because that's a football school. And now we're getting back to people. This show wouldn't have happened 7, 8 years ago, Coach, because you know what? We wouldn't have nothing to talk about because all the people have been talking about is the band. Hey, I want to talk about the band. We talking football on this show. And that is, and I will give Deion this credit. The interest, Rocky, that has come back about football that I grew up on. Because, like I said, I love the boom. But man, I can't. When we went to Jackson State game, because we were gonna see pros. We went to see pros. Southern had pros. Grambling had pros. Texas Southern had pros. Alcorn had pros. So that's the thing that I think we're getting this culture back up to your point, that athletics are now starting to get back to the forefront.
In any university, man, and like I told you guys earlier, we don't have to be Texas and Alabama to do things the right way. These schools bring back these players, some of these players that play in pro ball, just as like a social AD to go play golf, to show up at the banquets, to show up and just to get that feeling. Because what they do, they make money. They play professional sports. When a football coach is hired on some of these colleges, campus, HBCUs, it should be some guy who don't play pro ball involved with some of those decision making. We don't do that. You know, we graduate these guys and they move on to pros. Then all of a sudden when they become a star, then we want to contact them. And they ain't been contacted since they left there. It's about relationships. And we all know how we feel about each other and what do we do to each other. We get jealous, we envy. You know, oh, he don't come back. Well, have you invited him back? What committee have you put him on? What did you do with an AD? And like you said, it's just, I read one of the things one of the guys talked about. Another thing, it's just so much turnaround. Let me give you guys an example, and y'all tell me. Willie Totten comes back, interviews for the AD job. His name on the stadium. You don't give him the job? You see, you got opportunity there to bring a guy back. The last time the school run, he's an alumni of the school, and you disown him. You push him out. But then you want him to call Jerry to get some money. You know what I'm saying? And it's so much.
Hey, Coach, you kind of point to what I'm saying. And this is what I say. Jerry may not need no money, right? Jerry probably is okay. But if you take care of his boy, right? That's a straight line to who?
Jerry.
Yeah. So sometimes,
just like in my school with Texas Southern, we had Machine Gun Kelly. He had a daughter and a son playing basketball. Do we give him a scholarship? No, we don't. For him to bring him back.
Hey, it's Coach, JT done call back, Coach. So we're gonna let JT give us one more, give it one more time. JT, you're live on HBCU Coaches Corner.
Wow.
Oh man, your internet went out on him. Coach, my whole he this and that. My whole point was this, Coach. We need to understand that the players gave already, man. They already gave, and it's time for the other alumni to do their part. And again, Mr. Campbell, I'm not saying that the other alumni doesn't do their part. I'm not saying that they don't donate, but it's in my opinion, it's the university's obligation to honor those great men and the time that they gave the university during that time that they were there playing ball. They gave to the university then, and those men should be honored. They should not be required after they go on to then give any more than they want to, but they should always be honored by the university, in my opinion.
Well, let me say this too. You know, you guys know I got a nephew who played at Cleveland State, right? Mm-hmm. Played in the pros, you know what I mean? And he went back for a function, but he's on committees at the university. But you know what the president told him? He was going to write a check. The president said, hey, we don't need your check, because every time they show you on the face and say you from Cleveland State, we can't even buy what you bring to us because you're a graduate from Tennessee State. But they built a relationship with him. Every graduation, he's invited back. Every function, he's invited back. He's invited back to games. They never lose track of where he is.
They never lose touch with him.
Right. They have him fly down and meet the president and to have lunch and dinner. They always will keep this relationship with him. But right now, they told him, we don't need your money, because every time you shoot a basket or you on some show, they're going to say Norris Cole from Cleveland State. We could do the same thing, guys, but we just don't have, our administration think, you guys got to look up to me. I'm the president. I'm the AD. Come to me if you want something. No, it starts from the top. You got to go out and meet people and build relationships and make sure, like Coach Campbell say, make sure you know who played back 20 years ago or who was what 20 years ago. It just, and that's how it starts and that's how it rolls.
Hey, this right here, you should, again, I don't think this is a function of the school. I don't think this is a function of the school, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's the school's function to be a safety net for one of your graduates. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying that if a guy played an extracurricular sport like football or basketball, a revenue sport, and he gave to the university with his body and his effort, right? You don't then put him in a situation where he has to now give more than anybody else who attended the university. You should just let him be celebrated for his contribution to the history and culture of the university. You shouldn't put any demands on him to give, in my opinion.
Yeah, Norris Cole is my nephew. I raised him up. One of the people asked, is that Norris Cole? Yeah, that's my nephew. But I think we're saying the same thing, Rocky. I think where you probably lose people at is that we shouldn't ask them for nothing, or they don't owe the school nothing. I think you always will. You know what I mean? But I am for you that the school still should have places for them. I just know so many guys that can go back to their universities and be a part of decision making in athletics. You know what I'm saying? They bring them back to play in golf tournaments and banquets and speaking engagements. And I think it's a relationship that we can do a better job at in HBCU. If you go back and ask how many HBCUs got a Hall of Fame, how many HBCUs you can go back on their campus and they won trophies back in the 80s, 90s, 70s that you don't even know where those trophies are. They don't have an award room, stuff like that. They don't have pictures of all the teams that have been there somewhere. All that history and stuff have been lost. You know why? Because it's one of the first things I do when I go to different HBCU schools.
You know, Coach, Steve gave me a wonderful experience a couple years ago when I went to visit FAMU when Prairie View played them in the SWAC championship. And I walked into their field house and I was able to see all the men who went to FAMU and their accomplishments in sports or whatever. But in all actuality, you know, there should be a shrine to those guys in all actuality so that their grandkids and their sons and daughters and everybody in their family can always come back and see those men being recognized. Because though they were recognized in the field house, and again, they did a great job in recognizing them in the field house. But Steve, wouldn't you agree those men on those walls in the field house deserve even more recognition than just being in the field house?
Well, this goes back to anything, and we'll talk about the white schools. You go to Florida State, you go to LSU, they have stuff like that. But you know what? Because they have a school that has 40, 50,000 people that attended, they can probably raise those funds. So with us for FAMU, we need a brand new field house, period. So we can't have a shrine when we ain't even got enough room for the weights, because the state of Florida is not giving us money to expand our stadium. You see what I'm saying? See, these are things that, and again, from the outside looking in, and you know, that's why I always had to explain to Scott, and I had to explain this to Blue, and even to you. It's not like we don't want it. But I'm gonna say this again: FAMU's owed $1.9 billion. What kind of field house you think we would have? Jack State been getting underfunded since 1877. What kind of field house you think they would have? Alcorn is owed $500 million. A&T's owed damn near $2 billion. Southern's owed $1 billion. So it's hard for us to have things like that. But I will say the simple things. But I don't, Coach. I'm gonna go to you. The simple thing, but that does not stop if a guy comes on campus and you give him a great experience and honor him like that. Because those are the small things that we can do. Like I say, championship teams. But Coach, I'm gonna say this, and because again, my AD is a girl. One of the hardest things, and because of transition, you can't even keep forms and lists together because people are transitioning so much. Well, where they put it? Oh, well, we threw that away. What do you mean threw that? That had all the football alumni numbers on it. Well, we don't know where that's at. So you have to rebuild that all the way from the beginning.
Because we always bring in people from the outside, and you know it. And my HBCU grads know it. We always bring in somebody from the outside, from some PWI school, and telling us, "Oh, that's how they used to do it, but this is the way we gonna do it." So that person stays 3 years. Then he gone, yeah, they don't know how to do it. We know how to do it. Then he bring all his cronies in, and all the information gets thrown. And it's just a repeated cycle, man, on all the HBCUs. And guys, you could take a room on campus. You could take the thing of it is like I said, we got to use our mind more. If you put educational building together and add stuff like a Hall of Fame room and stuff like that to it, the state will fund the academic building, not necessarily funding stadiums. Like I know the state of Texas don't fund colleges athletics. They don't fund the money. You got to go raise it. But I've seen Western Kentucky, I've seen Eastern Kentucky built a big old side stadium and put the PE department underneath it.
Well, Florida State did the same thing. EA will tell you Florida State ran that hustle and got that whole stadium redone, and it was FAMU said, well, hey, we want to do, oh no, we can't, y'all can't do that. We tried to do the exact same thing.
Hey, Coach, we got Coach Pep on here, and last time we was on, man, we wasn't able to get him on. So I want to make sure we get Coach Pep, and this is going to be the last call we take before we wrap up, guys.
Okay.
Coach Pep, you're live on HBCU Coaches Corner.
Thank you. Mr. Campbell.
Yes, sir. Coach Pep, how you doing?
I'm from Louisville, Mississippi, right? And I can remember when I was making $1.25 an hour. I got more for picking cotton for $3 a hundred. And I could pick 200 pounds of cotton a day. And before I retired, I was making $33 an hour, right? And I wonder how long the HBCU coach take to get a head coaching job. It's 5 years to the university, 2 years graduate assistant, 4 years of a position coach, 5 years as a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. And he able to apply for the head coaching job. And he may not get that job. That's 15 years. 15 years. And Makovic got that job in 3 days. And the other boy got the job in 1 day. In 1 day. I don't believe you can hire a person and they can understand how valuable the HBCU is. Mr. Campbell know, Coach Cole know, I know. And if you, the AD and the president got to be careful because Make America Great Again is before integration. We just started, Mississippi just started going to the White Stadium in 1975. And that ain't been that long ago. A couple of years ago, they tried to make Alcorn State, Mississippi State at Alcorn, Ole Miss at Jackson State, right? The black kids gonna apply for the go to Mississippi State, and they gonna send the black kids to Alcorn, and they owe Alcorn about $250 million, and they gonna bring that up, and they gonna bring that up, and they say, man, Mississippi State is, if they give that money, Mississippi State is gonna handle that money, you already done proved that SWAC coaches can't get a job over there at the SWAC school they done graduated from. And the Mississippi State is going to have power over Alcorn, power over Jackson State. They're going to be doing all the hiring and firing from Mississippi State. Mississippi State is going to be in charge of that money, and they're going to be able to distribute it the way they want it. But you got to be careful when you bring them guys in there and they don't know how important the HBCU is, right?
Absolutely, Coach Pep. Hey, man, we always appreciate you calling in, man, and we appreciate you calling into the show, Coach Pep. Before we let you go, man, how your health holding up, brother?
Hey, Ricky. Hey, I'm Rocky. I meant to tell you something.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna tell you guys this right here. I had a stroke, right? Mm-hmm. I had a stroke, and when I was having a stroke, I prayed to the Lord, and I prayed to the Lord, help me, right? And it lasted about 20 seconds. And I get up and walk to the bathroom and see has the effect that stroke has on me. Then I drove to the healthcare, and I couldn't talk. And I prayed to the Lord all while I was driving, because I didn't supposed to drive with the stroke. And I prayed to the Lord from the 12 o'clock in the evening time. I prayed to the Lord. And I prayed to the Lord at nighttime. And when I went in there, my phone had dropped in the water before. I was taking it to the shop to get it fixed on that Monday, but I had no phone, and I hadn't lost all my memory, and my brother and all them live in Louisville, Mississippi. I had no way of getting in contact with them, but I prayed to the Lord, and I prayed to him at night. I prayed to him in the daytime, and all my memory came back in the next day. And the doctor said, man, I have never known nobody to come in here and I had a stroke and leave the next day. And I said, man, I prayed to the Lord. And I left out that hospital the next day. And I couldn't talk. Scotty couldn't tell you this. I couldn't talk. But I watched the show. I watched the show on Scotty. And I watched the show every day on Scotty while I was healing. But man, I'm living proof that God still lives.
Hey,
He still lives.
Hey, man, thank you, Coach Pep. And you always welcome to call in, man. And I thank you for listening, my brother.
My son was on there about a week, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, the coach from Langston.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, man, thank you so much, Coach. I appreciate you, man. That's one of the things when you're doing these shows, Coach Cole and Coach Campbell, you never know who you touch and what impact you make. And a call like that lets us know that it's good work we're doing. It ain't good pay, Coach Cole. It ain't good pay, but it's good work.
Hey, man, we all one big family, man. We are all, we ain't, like I said, we ain't always got to like each other. But man, we all, one big family. Coach Pep. And again, this goes back, man. This is nothing new for a lot of us, man. We were born in this. We love this. We got these outlets now. Cause like I said, man, white folks got their thing, and ain't nothing wrong with that. They got their thing. But this feels good to people that look like me, men and women, and like I said, and those that are like-minded. Nothing wrong to my Caucasian brother that listen to us, because Blue, I love him too. But this is our thing, man. We get to talk about FAMU and Jackson State and Southern and Grambling and Texas Southern and Alcorn, man, and Mississippi Valley. Where's T-Buck gonna be able to spread his gospel other than right here at the HBCU Coaches Corner? Yeah. So, man, this is for us by us, man. This is FUBU, baby.
Yeah, we like I keep on saying, man, we can be economists. If it works for them, it can work for us. We don't have to invent the wheel, Coach. All we got to do is tweak it. Maybe we can't ride around in 24s, but we damn sure can ride around in 12s or 13s. And I talk about my years of how we turned programs around, and that's how we turned them around. Even in Lane College, I know I couldn't afford to take the team out on Friday, put them in a hotel, and take them to the movies. Hell, Coach, I went and got a damn screen from the damn library. At that time, they had Blockbuster, and we had
let's get it.
The damn movie Friday night. All of them mandatory to come, sit, watch the movie Friday night together, had our team meetings, and then they went home. Every Friday we was doing that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying about, at Tennessee State. You guys heard my brother. Hell, we went to a campground. And if you ever stayed at a campground, but it wasn't about the luxury of it. It was about the family of it. It's about the closeness of it. As a matter of fact, we got a page right now with that same 98 and 99 football team. So I'm saying we ain't got to be Texas and all that. There's a building somewhere on that damn campus that somebody ain't using that we can make it an award area. There's somewhere or someplace on that campus that we can do that. And somehow we can raise money to do those things. Hell, I put together a Hall of Fame for my football program. You know what I mean? Even though they threw it in the box after I left, but I put on the football because I knew the importance of making sure that I bring these guys back. And they bought tickets, and season tickets went up, and enrollment went up. So we can do it, man. We just got to do it. But, Campbell, Rocky, it starts from the top.
Absolutely. Hey, Coach, this is another great show, Coach. Coach Campbell got T-Buck. Coach, we ain't heard from them guys in the MEAC, have we? This spring, have we?
It looked like I'm gonna have to put a personal call in, Coach.
Oh, hey, Coach, you saw those emails I sent out, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw all up. Hey, Coach, I ain't got, didn't get not one reply, Coach.
Hey, I'm working on my Cali connection. I'm gonna get Coach the D-Jack on here. I'm gonna get him. Yeah, I'm working on it right now. And then, Coach, you can talk to him directly and ask him about him skipping the line. But I'm working on my Cali connection. My boy's a barber out there that knows his people. So I'm working on that.
Well, I'm gonna get on the phone and call personally myself. So we'll see. Like I said, my nephew played with both of them at the Eagles. My nephew Trent Cole, he played with Vic and D-Jack at the Eagles when they was at the Eagles together. So I'm trying to work that angle as well.
All right, Coach Campbell. I'm out. If you got anything, you wrap it up, and then we'll leave it to.
Hey, well, you guys, I'm gonna say this again. Another great show. We're getting ready to roll in, and I'm just gonna give something for my Mississippi folks. My grandma and them were from Camden, Mississippi. Used to pick okra. In February, everybody knows it's about the coldest month in the state of Mississippi. And they would go out there, they didn't have too many big coats, and they didn't have none of those gloves. And they look at their dad and say, Daddy, why we got to be out here? He said, this is the only way we're gonna make money. And he look at them and say, listen, if you can February, you sure can March. So I'm just letting y'all know, if y'all can make it through February, y'all can show March for the rest of the year. So man, keep it up. Don't let this cold weather get you down. Don't let cold people get you down, because warm times are coming back, Coach. Warm times are coming back.
Man, EA told me that Michael Vick is pledging capital. Man, I might need to fly out there with the bros and see what's going on. Hey, man, I always want to thank guys for watching the show. It's getting bigger and it's growing each and every week. I always want to thank my two, the tandem, Rocky and the Bishop, for giving me their time to get on the show. I think we've made a big impact in HBCU football. We want to continue. I know sometimes, in my case, I got to watch what I say and do what I say as well. But I want to thank you guys for the continued support. Let's make sure we continue to support these HBCU schools. I think we're going somewhere with the show. We'll get back with you guys on what we're going to do this spring. We actually want to go visit a couple of teams. Last year we went to Alabama State. We want to do some things that way. Man, it's tough out there. I thought the Super Bowl was great. I know we didn't say anything about it. I can't say enough about the Lamar show. He put one on. Man, did y'all see that the American flag was made out of black folks? Man, that was great. And it was just an all black cast. And they not like us, and that's okay. But we all got to live in harmony on this earth. And if things ain't going right for you, man, keep hanging in there. Tie a rope at the end of the day, and make sure you put it in a knot and hold on tight, because ain't nobody bad like you.